Chris Trott hurriedly puts his microphone on because, well done. Hello and welcome to High Rollers, the Dungeons and Dragons stream here on the Yogscast Twitch every Sunday. I am your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes, and joining me we have Chris Trott, hello, who has his microphone on now, Katie, hello, Tom, hello, and Kim. Hi. And we are all rocking the brand new High Rollers hoodie that Chris Trott's not wearing, but he is wearing his birthday shirt from Tom Hazel.
Behind as well.
It's got a cool behind. It has a cool behind. Don't we all?
Look at my cool behind without destroying my microphone. Yeah.
Welcome to the stream. We hope you are all well.
Wow.
It was Mark Hume's birthday yesterday.
It was my birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to
Just stop. I want to get on with the game. Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Everyone's. I'm 32. What, are you still a year older than me? Yeah, sorry, mate.
Still
You're only a year. I'm catching up on you. We're still like, we're the elders. The elders here.
The elders.
Thank you very much, everyone, for the lovely birthday messages yesterday. Thank you to everybody who stopped by City Games to come and watch a little live game I did with Tom Hazel and those guys from No Pun Included.
Very fun.
It was a lot of fun. Couple of quick things. Obviously, we do have the brand new hoodie out, which is available on store.yogscast.com. Kate, is there other merch that I'm just forgetting? I can't remember.
No, not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
At the moment, we've got these hoodies available on store.yogscast.com. They are £35.
What is
the
that
t-shirts are also
t-shirt you're wearing, Kim?
The t-shirt that Kim is wearing right now. Oh,
Same
double merch,
design.
double merch.
Wow.
So all of those,
Sold.
I think the t-shirts are still slightly discounted on the store at the moment. Unfortunately, we've sold out of all the dice at the moment. We do have new merch in the works, but for now, we do have the new hoodie.
We were literally looking at
as well.
samples
We're
today.
literally looking at samples. We don't have a new poster, Mark.
No, we've got the old one though, still in stock. I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So
the big movie poster.
The movie
There
poster,
is the poster is currently half price on the store.
That's it.
And
I knew there was something about posters.
The badges are discounted, as is the T-shirt at the moment. So it's
think
like
it's
a
literally the last
end of
of, like,
January
end of
sale. So I don't know.
Mid-February sale.
I don't know how long that's going to go on for. So if you do want to grab stuff now, then
What if I've already bought all the High Rollers merch, but I want to see like a show?
then you can come to Insomnia 62
No
on
way.
the 31st
You can facilitate
of March.
that need for me?
Yes, for
How?
£10 only, you can.
How much?
Just let Katie talk.
only.
Shut up.
We are doing a live show at Insomnia Gaming Festival, I-62. So if you want to come and see us play a live show, it's a one-shot, so no prior campaign knowledge necessary. It's going to be 2 hours long, starting at 7 p.m. on the 31st. If you want to meet us, you will need to buy a day ticket to Insomnia for the Saturday. We'll all be there on the Saturday, signing stuff and things.
If you want to
And it's a cool show. You should just come along.
So
he'll be
And buy
there.
our merch.
He'll be at the live show.
merch will be available at Insomnia, yes.
So it's a good chance to come and meet us. Loads of other Yogscast people, loads of other content creators and stuff like that, and loads of fun stuff going on. And come see the live show in the evening.
Please do.
Is there
Because we'd like to see you.
anything else I need to talk about?
It's Mark's birthday.
It is
Happy
I've said that.
birthday
Don't just
to
We've
you.
ordered waffles for the break.
We have ordered waffles for the break.
So if I get a phone call, that's what that is.
Yeah, that's because I realised that the lift is broken, so you might need to go down. And
I've
you
already
just
said
need
call
to.
me.
You just need to change. Move the door.
You just
The guy
you just
will
need to
go
like
mental
Hulk
at the delivery
open.
person.
But then it stops working until
Yeah.
someone resets it.
Well, you just keep jumping.
Anyway, enough talking about the Yogscast lift.
It's terrible. It's bad.
Because it's
So
awful.
bad.
Yes, so I'll recap. I wrote out a lot of bullet points because actually quite a lot happened last week. If you haven't seen last week's episode and you're like, but it wasn't on Yogs Live on Tuesday, that's because they now go out on Thursdays.
And we tweeted it, twice.
We did tweet it, but the Yogs Live uploads now go out on Thursdays. So if you want to watch this on YouTube, or if you know people that wait for YouTube do let them know that it comes out on Thursdays. They
But
can just watch
also,
it
yeah,
straight away on
you-
Twitch.
You can just watch it straight away on Twitch if you don't want to wait, but it's now Thursdays for VODs.
And with that out of the way, there's some spoilers if you've not seen last week's episode, because a lot of big stuff did happen. So, after...
We're still alive!
You are still alive. After being ambushed by Karen Blackhurth, a master vampire in the catacombs beneath the city of Greybell, Cam Buckland made a clever bargain to bring back Morella Buckland, who is a kind of a long obsession of Karen Blackhurst's and friend of Cam Buckland's. And
different.
And you did it in exchange for time to rest and for your allies to basically be able to leave the city unharmed.
I offered him to bring her back to life, which
Yes.
he was struggling to do.
Yes, because he wanted to do that. He
And
wanted
only
to bring
I
her
could
back.
do it. I
Yes.
persuaded him that
do
I
that.
needed 8 hours of rest.
And to let your allies go unharmed as well was the
Yeah.
other half of that.
That just...
Because of that, because he was obsessed, he took you back to the manor for rest, whilst basically telling the others to get out.
Good
You know,
God.
he was done with them, sort of in typical
Gives
arrogant vampire
an
way.
hour to leave the city.
You did.
Yes.
Which you decided not to do. Instead, you would stick around and help your good friend Cam Buckland. So you made your way through the catacombs closer to the Greybell clock tower, which is where Morella's body was being kept. After resting for 8 hours, Cam, you were taken to the clock tower where you see the undead angel, this creature called the Dershinger, which was bringing all the undead to life in the city, but also expanding the influence of beings called the Dark Powers, which was basically robbing sunlight from the area and that sort of thing. You were taken to a hidden room behind the clock face that housed Morella's resting place, a magical coffin that kept her body preserved, along with Karen's coffin beside it. The others made a desperate rush from Blackhurst Manor, Karen's kind of main sort of like home, with your rescued allies, Libram and Testament, 2 warriors from the warrior kingdom of the Unbroken Empire. They actually lured away several powerful undead creatures as well as some vampire spawn, giving you guys a chance to run to the clock tower unobstructed and get to helping Cam and to destroy the Dershinger specifically. Cam tricked Karen into sending the Dershinger away so that he could cast the spell to bring Morella back. But as part of that, his god Avandra told him that because he was trying to power the spell alone, you had to give up something particularly important or particularly powerful, and so you chose to give up the powers of your Lightborn race, your kind of like this inherent positive energy throughout your being. You decided to give that up, basically turning you into a regular old human
Scrub.
now.
He was thinking about it.
I should point out that also removes your heroism spell being able to cast, and you're coming back to life and everything else. You are a human for all intents and purposes.
What was heroism?
He could cast the heroism spell.
Never
I
did
did it
though.
all the time.
He did use it a little bit, but then he only started using
Used
aid
it
instead.
twice.
Yeah,
You see twice in 2 years.
in 2 years. You brought Morella back to life, but she didn't kind of rush to Karen's side as he hoped, and enraged, he attempted to kill Cam. The rest of the party flew upwards to join him, and together you managed to destroy the vampire. Cam actually leapt from the clock tower into the air to deliver the final killing blow mid-air. The vampire's body reformed in its coffin, and Elora used a powerful sunbeam that she was concentrating on to destroy him forever and completely, thus destroying all of the vampire spawn, the undead that he had created, and generally ending the threat of Karen Blackhurst. Juto leapt after Cam to try and save him. He then dimension doored back to where he was.
Helpful.
Everyone jumped.
Everyone
You could have
jumped, there's
grabbed
lots
me
of
and
jumping.
taken me with it, you know.
No, you'd already fallen
already
past
lost,
him,
yeah.
sadly, at that point. But
We
you did
lost
use
you.
some clever key of your way of the elements to kind of save yourself and basically prevented a messy death. And that is basically where we left things off. And to kick off the session, the sun is beginning to rise over Greybell, over the tops of the ramshackle, partially ruined buildings of this kind of densely, tightly packed in city. You can see that the sunlight's just beginning to drift between the streets, creating kind of these beams, and it feels warm. For the first time since you've arrived in the city, you actually feel warm and safe. And there is this kind of quiet, but it's a very peaceful quiet. There is no more like howling of wolves or barking of like squawking of crows in the air. It actually just feels quiet and calm and serene. Sadly, there is still lots of evidence of the damage that this kind of whole affair has taken on the city. You can still see bodies in the streets, out in the main town itself. You can see that many of the buildings have been destroyed by fire or like physical damage. And generally there is still the kind of scars of this whole event. But you are all currently, I believe that we had it with, it was Cam and Reynard and Morella up in the clock tower itself. Reynard had just picked up the Black Hearth blade, this kind of family blade that Karen had been wielding, that is kind of like the symbol of authority within the city, and it had actually turned from a black metal into a shining silver. Juto has literally managed to make her way down to the base of the clock tower, and Elora had flown out as a giant
She got
eagle.
on the griffin, I think.
I think we kind of just...
Oh, that's right. That you slowed yourself enough
Yeah.
that the griffin picked you up,
Yeah.
and then you had become a giant eagle, so the two of you are basically making your way back up to the clock tower as well.
Flap, flap, flap.
And that is literally where things kick off.
I will turn to Morella.
You watch as the golden light, her hair that had taken on the golden appearance that your Lightborn hair used to, now fades, and it fades down to like a dull, kind of like chocolatey brown. The wings that had kind of like sprouted from back, these kind of luminous wings, disfade as well, and she kind of has to steady herself for a moment and sort of like seems to be regaining some strength.
I'll say, that suits you.
Are you talking about the blonde, or are you talking about the giant angel wings?
Bit of both. Bit of both.
Well, it's a good look, I must say. You didn't used to be able to do that, did you?
No. No, I think that was innately in you the whole time.
She kind of looks at you a little bit. She kind of she doesn't seem to be quite sure what to make. Cam, I don't know how you've done it, but thank you. I heard a voice calling out, and I wasn't going to come back. I knew what Karen planned. I thought he had done something to bring me back to life. And this woman told me it would be okay. And then I saw you, and I don't know how you've done it. I don't know.
Do you remember anything else?
I remember there was a time when I thought I could speak to you. You thought that you were the one that had killed me or something. You were confused.
Oh, yeah.
I think I remember speaking to you,
You
but
came
it's
to
like
me
a
as
dream.
like a spirit, almost.
It's so hard to remember. I remember being in a place full of mist, a strange land I didn't recognize, but I wasn't quite there and I wasn't quite here. I was almost like I was trapped there. As long as I knew Karen had power, I knew I couldn't leave.
I'm gonna squeeze her biceps.
Ow! And she just kind of like slaps you a little bit, like, what are you doing?
Chuck, you've been lying still for a long time. I wonder if you got weak.
Well, I don't know, magic maybe? I feel weak, but not.
I'm gonna go
I
punch
can
her in
move.
the face.
Well, you actually punch her in the face, okay?
No, go to.
Oh, I'll go to, okay. She, will try and reflectively, like, dodge out the way. She's a dancer, but more of a singer.
Still got it.
She, like, looks at you. You can see that she's very physically kind of, like, a little bit pale. She does look like she's kind of, still struggling to kind of, she's kind of trying to hold herself up a little
Just
bit.
take a minute. Sit on your coffin.
Well, first things first, she kind of looks at, I guess at the moment you can see a bronze griffin with Juto flapping outside the clock tower, and then a giant eagle, purple eagle, outside as well. She's going to look at the others. I think I should probably thank your friends?
I'll
Before
go
you
onto
do
the thing
that-
and transform back.
Before you do that, just give me a second.
Sure.
I'm gonna walk up to Juto.
I'm outside. I'm flying around.
Juto,
Okay, flying.
Fine.
come here.
Well, technically, the griffin looks at Reynard.
I
because
guess,
Reynard
yeah.
is holding the
Yeah.
figure.
Oh, well, I guess once Juto's in, I'll
Yeah.
dispel it.
So you gesture the griffin and it comes in and then
Yeah.
turns back into the thing.
Juto, I'm gonna put both arms on your shoulders. I'm going to hug you now.
Why?
It's good. It just feels like it has to happen, and I'm going to do it. So just let it happen.
Why? Oh!
She pulls in tight.
Feels
I'm kind of like that, and then
feels weird, doesn't it? But I feel like I should thank you. You
why?
do reckless decisions to try and save my life. You've done a lot, and I just want to thank you.
I have sworn to protect you, Mr. Buckland.
But I did have Dimension Door, so just in the future when I jump off things, it's likely I'm not that dumb.
Normally, though, it's best to double check. I
You
was
also,
not.
you also get the impression that there was some sort of magic that prevented you falling as fast as perhaps you might have done. Almost like the god of this realm didn't quite realise how quickly a person would fall. Probably should have
Unless
been about
it's been told.
500 foot in a round.
That tower felt really light.
Yeah, there's some strange magic was going
dense
on
air
there.
of the Dark Lord was suppressing our falling ability.
That Doge singer.
Can neither of you jump off of things, please?
Either way, thank you.
Didn't you
I
jump off a
appreciate.
thing?
you trying to
Different. I
save
can
my
turn
life.
into a bird.
Thanks a
Juto,
lot.
because of your understanding of key and things like that, I think you and Elora can both make insight checks.
On who, me?
We'll find out, won't we?
Well,
That's it.
I'm
Open
not
up
there
that.
yet.
13.
13.
More than that. 19.
There's something off about the magic, Cam's magic, but you're not sure what.
You feel different, Mr. Buckland.
That was a 28.
We're doing
Looking
push-ups.
at what you saw of Morella and Cam now, you can definitely tell the natural magic around him. Like, there was always something about Cam, like, since you saw the Lightborn powers and things like that, you get the sense that Morella's kind of showcasing the same, she showed the same sort of abilities, and something's wrong about Cam. You figure that maybe some of that magical energy's transferred in somehow.
Cam, what happened up there? We saw... Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, is Cam's hair darker now, or like?
No,
was
it's
it
the same
always-
colour it
Same
always
colour.
has been.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
So we can't tell just by looking.
No.
at it.
No.
Fair enough.
I use
Well,
L'Oreal.
non-magical.
Elvive.
What happened? We saw a golden light. It was like you'd fallen over.
Yeah,
So
Morella,
how did you get back up?
Just got up, brushed myself off, all good.
Did Morella heal you?
Yeah, I think so.
She did, yeah. She did actually
She
cast
went
Cure Wound.
angelic. It was amazing.
I
She
don't
looked
know what happened. I've never had that sort of power before. Hello, by the way. I guess I should thank you for destroying the incredibly evil vampire that was trying
That's
to
Morella.
bring me back to life. Yes, I think they've probably gathered that, Cam, actually.
I gave her the dagger she gave me to save you. That was
the one I gave you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So she died,
Right.
and we had to give something up.
Well, just anything? Why didn't you
No,
just...
that meant a lot, and that would.
So it meant a
bring-
lot, did it?
Well, it meant
Apparently
a
it
little
did.
bit, and a little bit, nothing more.
Clearly.
Just a token.
Yep.
I think it's like the longer you've had it, the more it means something. I don't know.
Sure.
Either way.
Hi,
So-
I'm Elora.
Hello.
Yeah, that's
Morella
Laura.
Bucklands. And she
Hi.
kind of like gets up, and you can tell that she's quite weak, so she kind of sits back down again, and you can see that she looks very tired. I don't know how to express my thank you. That creature, that Karen, I mean, he was. How you managed to defeat him, I don't know. He's done awful things, and the power he had, this Strahd, I could sense it from where I was. It was like he had the power of a god, this Strahd, and he gave it to Karen. I thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was mostly.
I thanked you. All right,
right.
calm down.
Also,
I
this
appreci-
is Reynard.
Hello.
He's a human.
He's very handsome.
Right.
I'm amazed.
Really?
I mean, I'm just look at him.
You've been awake for what?
I guess I'm
so
standing there with a
buff.
longsword, just like
3 minutes.
in the ground, standing guard, like.
He's a bit. Oh no, he's one of them, isn't he? Yeah. Okay. And you, I'm sorry. I probably said something shocking about you earlier. What's your name? Sorry.
I am Juto.
Juto, tiefling, right? I've
Yes.
heard about your kind, but I'm sorry. I'd never seen anything like you before. Yeah.
Imagine me like when we first met. So maybe ease up a little
Why?
bit on her prejudices.
Not prejudice. I was shocked. You weren't.
You're being racist.
What?
I'm joking.
Ugh.
Juto, Morella Juto.
She like bows her head and.
Technically, the dagger you gave me is in her somewhere. Is that how that works?
Probably not.
Is he always this tiresome?
No, he's Cam. He's.
You should know. I've been hanging out with these guys for a long time now.
Yes, he has.
A long time.
Very long time.
She just kind of smiles and is like, and I'm sure, yes, I'm sure you are as aware of him as I am, and I'm
We
very
definitely
glad that
didn't-
he was here.
We definitely didn't want him to die to a crazy evil vampire.
Well, the idea was to
I
kill him.
can't believe you survived as long as you did. That light that you summoned, it kept him back for so long.
I've got quite powerful in the time that you've been just sleeping around.
I mean, I'm one to make fun of you, but I didn't realize. I knew that you'd received some training from Grandpa about the gods and things like
Gramps.
that.
I forgot about Gramps.
I mean, I'm hoping that they're okay somewhere.
We should probably check. By the way, the town is not in a good way.
I didn't think it would be. I can see a little bit from up here, but
There's a lot of, let's just say, undeath. that's
Well-
probably now been laid to rest in the streets.
She kind of like looks. I'm guessing that was the weird angel creature.
The dirge singer, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't fully know if that thing's permanently gone. I managed to dismiss it, but I don't know if Karen had control of it or the being that was controlling and giving Karen power.
It's weird. I felt like a great darkness. Like I had always been able to kind of roughly tell what was going on here, but nothing to a clear idea. It's almost like it was being almost like a dark room you couldn't really see into. But then it just kind of vanished. Something went away and I could see much clearer. That's when I saw you calling me back.
Do you remember Gramps' arthritis?
What?
Do you remember when he was trying to show us like combat moves, but he used to do his back in?
And do his back in and he'd always fall down.
Oh!
And then LD would have to help him up and he'd be lying down in the wagon
And
for
I'd
days.
shout arthritis boy at him. Yeah. It's so funny.
While these two are bantering,
Yeah. Well, you kind of get the sense that, like, Cam is bantering and Morella's just like, yep, oh, that was great. Like, she kind of
goes on.
encourages it a
Yeah.
little, but not quite encourages, but, like, goes along with it kind
Yeah.
of thing.
I'm gonna go to Alora and whisper. The way these two humans are acting, in my experience with humans so far, are they pregnant?
Do I hear this?
Make a perception check.
She's right there,
Make a
right?
perception check. She's whispering.
Okay.
Just going back to the conversation we had previously about humans and their relationships.
Oh,
It's a
Yeah, you do.
relationship of sorts. Pregnancy,
Morella.
I don't think is involved.
I
since
think
she's
it
been
kicked.
Dead for a while.
feel it.
No.
Feel my belly.
I'm not feeling your belly. No. No.
I think it's a boy, Juto.
This is Cam fucking with you again.
I think it's a boy.
Do you have a way of getting down, by the way? She kind of, like, looks towards the edge.
I did, but I'm now spent.
Oh.
Is there not a staircase?
We do
Oh,
have
wait,
the
this is
grid.
an
Looks around.
isolated room.
Yeah, it's just completely isolated.
Oh, that's a good
Griffin.
point. How do I actually properly? How many times can I use this thing?
So
up
you
to
have
an
up to 7 hours, I think, a week or something like that. I will look it up.
So the thing is, I've dispelled it now.
You've got enough that you can summon it back, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like whenever we've used it, it's been for like
A
under
little
minute.
bit, yeah.
And
When
then
I
we've
was,
got
Barely
You
use
need
it.
to be-
Yeah.
yeah.
It's mainly the time limit is mainly for like long distance travel.
When I flew in with Karen
Yes.
towards the clock tower, did I notice any windows, like tiny windows
No,
on
it was
the
just
way up?
like holes for the
It's
him
like-
to mist up.
There is like stairs that go up, but they lead into like the mechanisms. This is like a room that's completely stone all around you.
If we potentially abseil out of the clock face into the room below,
There is no
use the
room
stairs.
below.
There's a room above, isn't
Yeah, there's the
Yeah.
Dirge Singer's room.
There wasn't even a room. Like the dosing was
was
just
just-
floating
yeah.
outside the clock tower. There's stairs leading up because they need a system to access the actual clock mechanics. This room has almost been built in the middle of all of that, like completely separated from everything. You might be able to get into the underworks, but you'd probably have to like break
a
through the
wall.
stone or something like that. For your information, Tom, if you're going to have the Griffin from now on, it can be used for up to 6 hours. Once it's being used, it can't be used until
You can
5
turn
days
into
have
an
passed.
Okay.
I
I will
suppose. you
take those
can-
notes later.
But yeah, you have more than
Yeah.
enough. You use like a minute. I think we had like a house rule that it's always a minute of its time every time you use it, even if you only use it for a few seconds. Hello.
Anything to loot?
In here, you see that there's not really anything of value. The coffin itself that Morella was in is made from a translucent kind of glass, but there is like runes etched into it. The lid has evaporated. You don't know where that's gone, but I mean, you don't know if that would be valuable or not. The coffin that Karen Ash is now in is looks very luxurious wood, but there's not really anything else in here. It mainly seems to be like almost like in a completely enclosed room. If the clock face hadn't been shattered, like there would be almost no light getting in as well. But you're kind of open to the elements up here. You can hear like the wind blowing past.
Can I like scatter the ashes so there's no chance that someone bleeds on it and gets back together or anything like that?
Yeah, if you want to just like go in and like scoop it up in your hands and then start throwing out into the wind, it just gets whipped away. You get this kind of acrid, like this kind of crumbled, almost like burnt flesh kind of smell as you kind of pick it up, and it leaves like a horrid residue. You probably have to like try and water your hands and wash them off and things like that. But yeah, there's this kind of very unpleasant tingling, cold sensation as you pick it all up, and this horrid, acrid smell. But yeah, you just blow it all away. And just...
Cool. Out of interest, in the entire time I've been here, has the bell in the clock tower ever actually rung?
Yes, it did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Don't worry then.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Reynard,
Yeah.
that blade,
Yes.
it's changed. It's different.
I suppose after the dirge thing had we assume after the darkness disappeared, it returned it to its original state.
It was when Karen died that it changed. You actually watched the metal kind of turn from this kind of blackened steel into like a polished silver, and you can see that it's got this raven kind of headed pommel, and the actual kind of crossguard is almost shaped like wings, like bat wings almost.
Now,
I think
Another
whatever
symbol of the darkness leaving this place.
whatever Karen was, however evil he was, it was powerful enough to affect that weapon.
you guys remember a bracer that kind of took control of its host and then, kind of embraced the evil, so to speak?
Oh, is that the one you
Remember that, Juto?
Death staring.
Remember that?
What's the relation?
Just wondering if that's evil. If that's an evil thing. That you're
I
holding that
feel like,
symbol.
so-
can I almost roll an Arcana check on it or something?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, can I see? Because I was there when it changed back, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Can I just
Make
see
an
the
Arcana check. Magic's not really your forte, judging by the laugh of Kim.
2.
Yeah.
14.
14.
Great.
You kind of looking at it, it's difficult to tell. You know that Crown Rend, its personality and connection, like initially it only spoke to Juto, and it's really, the wielder probably has the most, if it was to have a personality, it would speak to whoever was wielding it.
Reynard, is
You
it
can't
talking to
really
you?
tell.
Has it said anything?
I would say that you would probably, with a 14, you'd know that there are spells to be able to
Yeah.
determine if it has certain traits or if it has corruption.
If it...
If
I don't
you-
know. Maybe it changes depending on who's wielding it. Maybe if a good person wields it, it won't do that.
Well, you told me
but
I had
we
a
can't be
sense
sure.
of responsibility and...
You definitely feel like as you're kind of holding it, there is this kind of like, almost like a sense of, you want to make sure that this place is okay.
If
kind
you
of have, it's
remember-
like not like a driving sort of like, you must do this. You just kind of like, as you're holding it, it's like you kind of feel the weight of the history of it. You kind of get the sense that this is a very old sword, and it has always been a symbol of this city. It is a symbol of this family and this city, and holding it, you're like, man, like,
Yeah.
you kind of want to make sure that everything turns out okay.
This is the Black Hearth Blade. I think whatever darkness was originally in there was only from Karen's causing.
If you
Which is
remember
now
as
gone.
well, the ghost of Dalstan asked us before we came here to give the Black Hearth blade to the next person who would restore and repair and lead Greybell. Is that you, Reynard Fairhorn?
I mean, there's a super heavy, Buckland presence in this place, isn't there? Depends.
I mean,
How about, before we make such rash decisions about being a leader or anything,
I don't think that...
we go find the other Bucklands?
I don't think that Dalstan said anything about the blade. I think he just wanted the person to be in charge, to be someone who was good, and he suggested
He
that
asked us, myself and Reynard, before we left.
he did say that maybe an elder from the Buckland family who may still be in the manor could
Grampy?
lead. I don't know your family, but a woman, an elderly woman there.
Either way, we
or-
need to see if they're okay.
it's
So
LD, but I don't know.
I think he said that whatever Bucklands were left were at his manor.
We need to get down there quickly before they scatter. I imagine all the vampires there have
Yeah.
now vanished.
We
or
also
worse.
perished.
we also need to find Karen's books on Strahd. That was Dalstan's other request, was to destroy the
Destroy
books.
the... Yes.
Was there a
this
way
happened
upstairs?
again.
Because there were 2 rooms. There was the one below and the one up. So is there
It
actually
was
a way
It's
the
the second
upstairs?
room. That's just
No.
the one room.
Sure. Okay.
I think
We were in the library at the Black Hearth Manor.
Well,
we need to
I
go
guess
to the
we're heading
manor.
back there anyway, yeah.
Well, if you have a way of getting down,
Reynard?
Now. Do it.
Let's
I'm gonna
do
let him keep going
it!
for a while.
Do it. Griffin. Go. Flight.
Do you want to give me
I
a
don't
hand?
think there was actually any word that I made
it's
up
just a
for
mental
it.
command word. It's just like, you just will it to activate.
Yeah, there's not a word, but I'm just gonna.
When you
click.
actually will it to work, it
Hey.
grows
I
into a
found
large
it.
griffin.
Did you remember what word it was? Though?
Yeah. It's
Right. Okay. Good.
You may wish to write that down somewhere.
Yep.
Morella just
Axel
kind of
all
looks
over
at it
again.
like quite marveled, like.
That's a bronze griffin, and it will now take you down to the bottom.
Pretty
I can
useful.
see what it is, Cam. You fucking idiot.
That's the best
I'm just
bit.
impressed that you have literally a tiny figure that transforms into a living metal creature.
And all you
very
have to
useful.
say is,
Yes.
Yes.
it's how it
Odd.
works. I figured it out.
What has happened since you've been gone?
Let me catch you up on this very short flight down. And I offer my arm.
She just kind of like looks at you. She very sort of weakly holds on and sort of pulls
I'll
up
help
next
her
to you.
up.
Yep. Yeah, you can tell that like although she hasn't got any physical wounds, she's quite like low on health, shall we say?
In a healing word.
Yeah.
Her shoulders,
How much for?
level
It's relevant information for me.
bucket 4.
Okay, 4d4 plus your wisdom modifier.
Yeah.
Would you like some d4s?
Yeah.
There's 3.
Thank you. 5, 8 plus 5 now.
Yep.
13.
13. You kind of feel like this kind of energy you kind of breathe into Morella. Oh, wow. Yeah, great. Let's go.
And as we take flight down, they can all hear, so, Gulthire, and then,
And by the time you get down, you've reached to, I smashed the bones. And she's like, okay,
Oh god.
there's so much more to tell you.
I hope so.
Oh, Amelia. That's another story.
Wait, Amelia's alive?
Let's send the bronze griffin back up.
So that was just those two that went then.
Yeah, and then you get through a little bit more of the story while you're waiting for the next 2 to come down. I'm guessing.
I'll just griffin it again.
If
If
I
eagle.
may,
I've got another eagle. Yeah, I've got another wild shape.
I would like to take the
3 of
griffin
you
and
would.
search for Libram and Testament.
I think that's why I can come with you as an eagle, and we can have a sweep over.
I'm guessing you say that before you turn to me.
Yes, I'll say that for it.
But I will leave you at the bottom of the tower.
Well, thank you. I guess I'll listen to the rest of
Right!
the story. I need to hear it.
It's true.
That's
You've
true.
never actually heard all of the background stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so you fly down, you drop Reynard, that's your name.
Dingleberry.
off.
Thank you.
And Cam is basically explaining
We
a lot of the
entered
stories.
Talus Val at this point, and
Yeah.
we had a drow, and he was Trell, and he was like the better Reynard.
Then Reynard
I'm
walks up
here
behind.
now. Hi.
Oh!
Thank you, Cam.
And then I'm guessing that the 3 of you, Reynard and Morella, head towards
I
Blackhurst
guess we'll
Manor.
walk.
I guess
yeah.
we're kind of
Yeah.
flying in that direction because that's
And
where we
you're-
last saw them anyway.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You would head in that direction and then
Yeah.
start to form. The 2 of you can give me perception checks. In eagle form, you have advantage on this.
That
Oh,
was
shit.
only so 29.
Jesus.
I have a +10 to perception now.
18.
18. The 2 of you, although Elora's eagle form spots it first, like that zoom in eyes, but Juto also see this. You do see a small kind of square, maybe not very far, like a good sprint's distance away from the manor, and you see that there is 2 humanoid figures kind of like slumped next to each other on the ground, surrounded by bones and sort of like signs of battle, basically. When you fly down, you notice that the bodies aren't moving. You look around, and as you get closer, like Elora, you're still in eagle form, but Juto, as you kind of get off the griffin and get closer, you can see that both of them have got some pretty grievous injuries from giant axes and claw marks, but around them is maybe like 2 or 3 of those large executioner figures that they've actually fought against, but also piles of ash that look like the ash that the vampire spawn make. And yeah, they are not moving, sadly.
Can I check?
Can
and they are-
You move up and just lifeless, like dead.
Dead.
Wow.
Absolutely dead.
Dead.
Super
Not
dead.
like, yeah, like you suspect that they must have died just before Karen and the Dirge Singer went away.
I
Sorry,
give-
just before Karen died.
Yeah. I give a kind of a really heartfelt sigh
Mm-hmm.
and kneel down beside them.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You can see that they're still gripping their weapons as
Yeah.
well. Like Testament's still got like the sword kind of like half in his hands as he's obviously been hit and then fallen. And it looks like, kind of looking at the scene, Testament probably went down first. Libram died over on top of him and then took a final blow, managed to turn around, maybe get like one strike in to finish off something, and then has fallen back sort of over his body kind of thing. and she's still got the shield and the hammer, sort of like. leaning
So
back.
I will gently sort of move the bodies so that they're kind of a bit more peaceful, and I guess link their hands, and then light some incense and just say some prayers and give kind of like a warrior, a soldier's goodbye.
Yep.
Do they have like a color scheme on their armor or anything that was from where they came from?
They didn't really have much of their equipment. You remember that they had the tattoos, this kind of like winding path tattoo that they kind of spiraled around their bodies and arms. The clothing that they had was white, and then they kind of scavenged the gear. Like they found like guardsman's armor and things like that. The main thing is like Libram had this kind of like whitish hair. It's kind of like buzz cutted, kind of like what's it called, the half shaved and long hair on one side. Testament had mostly bald, but with kind of grizzled features.
Is there anything on them, like small personal artifacts that I can take to?
There would be actually, there would be.
Unbroken
I
Empire.
don't have my full
While she's
world docs.
doing that, I'm gonna druidcraft just a whole bunch of white roses all around them, and
Spend some time. I'm guessing you come out of eagle form and then do that.
I would like to take the hammer and the sword with the intention of sending it to their
It
home.
wasn't
Along with-
their stuff though, was it? They just scavenged it from a shop.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was just stuff. That
Okay, then we'll get personal items.
yeah,
'Cause I want to basically gather something that we can send back to their home with an explanation of their bravery and what they've
I think
done.
the only problem, they wouldn't have it on them. I think Karen would have had it. They basically had all of their stuff taken,
Yeah.
so they don't have anything on them. They literally
might
have the
find
gear
it
that
in
they
the
scavenged, and that's kind of it, really. They
Before
kind of
we-
made the best out of what they could
Yeah.
find.
Before we leave, I would like to try and find their belongings or
Yeah.
something.
Can we keep a conscious lookout in the manor for
Yeah, of course, yeah.
that?
So you guys are going to head back to the manor now. Yeah, it's not very far. It looks like that they basically led those creatures kind of a good sprint away, and then turned to fight them in sort of like this open square where they couldn't really have gotten away much further. And yeah, just fought them there. Morella, Cam and Reynard, as you are making your way, trying to use your best estimation of where you flew over and work out how to get back to the manor, and Reynard made his way there. In fact, you can't get lost, so you're kind of leading the way of like, it's this way, down these streets kind of thing. You notice that as you kind of get away from the clock tower's kind of marketplace area, the bodies that of like the townsfolk that the Dirge Singer had animated have just fallen dead again, and they're just kind of lying out there. And again, you're walking around this town, and you don't see any of like the bodies of like the big undead creatures that you had fought previously. These kind of executioners. You do find like piles of bones where they've probably maybe just collapsed or disintegrated. But the bodies of the townsfolk are fine, and they're just kind of like lying there. But there's a lot of death in the city. Like a lot of people died here, and they're now just bodies in the streets. You can see that a lot of buildings have been torched by fire. You can see that a lot of like buildings have been sort of torn apart or like ripped down or demolished and stuff. Some are perfectly fine, but the city's in a really bad way. As you're rounding a street, maybe about 10 minutes away from the Blackhearth Manor, you see a large group of maybe 24, 30-ish people, mostly either over the age of like 60 or under the age of like 15, making their way armed with stuff. You see some of them have got swords and spears, some of them have got like pans and, pots, some of them have got quarterstaffs or clubs, and they're just like looking around. They see you initially, and there's a kind of moment where they're not quite sure what to do, and then they seem to recognize Cam and Morella, and you see the little lad that you had actually winked to when you were inside Blackhearth Manor, a young man. I'm going to retroactively change his name. Takel is a young boy. He was like an orphan like you. He was just like picked up off the streets in one of the towns and brought into the family. And he's just like, there he is, there's Cam! And the whole family just drop their weapons and they start just running over, basically. And Morella, like, just is completely overcome. Like, you can see tears rolling down her face and just looks completely shocked. Amongst the family, the woman who seems to be leading the charge, she must be in like her 70s, but she is just as lively and spry as like the younger folks running alongside her. And she's kind of got like this babushka style kind of like head, kind of like neckerchief. Her clothing looks incredibly dirty, but it's kind of got that embroidery around like the trim, and she's kind of got like little bells dangling off, like little bracelets around her like arms and feet. And she just like bounds upwards.
Do I recognise her?
Yeah, this is LD. She was Gramps' basically, not quite wife, but the two of them kind of looked after the whole family. And she's kind of like, she was the one who would do things like, you think that maybe like, in another life she might have been accused of being a witch because she like brews potions and she knows a few little incantations and things like that, but she's generally harmless. She loved playing pranks on everybody when she was young, like when she like, you know, the young men, like she would always tease them and stuff. And
Probably me a lot, I imagine.
yeah, like, you know, and also like she would do it to everyone really, like it was just kind of like she was a bit of a trickster and stuff like that. And that's why her and Gramps got on so well, because he was obviously a priest of Evandra in a previous life. And she kind of comes bounding up, and
I'm gonna just gently push Morella in front and allow her to embrace this whole group of people.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand back and just, you know, soak it all in.
So they kind of rush up, and as you kind of push Morella forward, they gasp. There is like no, and like there's like these kind of like shocked, kind of like choking, sort of complete bewilderment that she is there. And LD is just blown away. She kind of looks up and is just like, I don't believe this. And she like kisses her on either cheek, and you can see that there's just like loads of tears overflowing everybody, and they kind of, you know, grab each other and sort of like embrace. But the whole time, there is constantly looks towards you. Like the whole, like young boys, young girls, the older folks are all kind of like, they're just completely can't believe that Morella's alive, but they eventually kind of all turn on you. And you do see, though, at the very back, two young girls, maybe like 11 and 12, are gently leading a very weak-looking Amelia. She looks probably malnourished. Her hair is all ragged and dirty, and she can barely kind of keep herself up. She looks very thin, extremely pale, like nearly white pale, like she's been constantly drained of blood, but alive. And they're kind of leading her up. And when Morella sees her, she just runs straight to her, and they're, you know, just they kind of disappear behind the crowd.
That.
And LD comes up to you, and she just looks at you, just starts laughing, just. I don't believe it. I don't believe this. Of all the boys.
Oh, it's always the pretty ones that survive.
She just chokes back and she's like, this must be true. This must be true.
I'll hold her little dainty hand and
Just
say,
like, slash you. Yeah, don't treat me like some...
I'm trying to be nice.
Yes, I don't want nice. I want explanation. How you are alive? How Karen is dead? How all of this has happened? How has idiot boy that grandpa teach of gods, how has he done all of this? Who is handsome man you travel with? Boyfriend? Husband?
No.
He good catch.
He's all right.
He good catch. Good
He's
boy.
He's a good lad. This is Reynard.
Good lad.
Reynard?
She comes up. You have to crouch down. She's quite hunched. She's kind of like...
Just let her do everything, okay?
Greetings, sorry, I didn't quite catch your name.
LD. Buckland. LD.
Buckland, oh, you must be his younger
Hold,
sister.
hold hand up. Oh, very nice, young man. Hold hand up, like this.
Yes?
And then she grabs your junk.
Don't.
Oh, very good. Very good. Good
You
man.
can't keep doing that, LD. What
I
have
can
said?
do what I want. I am old.
You can't keep
I am
using
old. I have survived vampire attack. If I want to touch man, I touch man.
That. It's
What
just
you want-
inappropriate. I've travelled the world now. You've got to
She
have
just shrugs.
respect.
Listen,
It's really good to see you, LD.
I cannot believe you. We thought you were first one Karen kill.
I know, and I thought you'd be the first vampire.
Well, I am most beautiful. No, he take all young, he take all strong. He either turn them or he make them undead creature. He leave us to clean, to cook. He want you to come after back. He We thought you were dead. We thought him crazy. We thought him mad. But he kept us alive. Said
He
one
really
day,
was.
Buckland come back for you.
And here I am, and I wish I could have come sooner. But unfortunately,
Sooner we didn't. I wanted you to be safe. We thought if he is alive, he is safe. He is away. We're glad. Why you come back?
I was given a divine intervention.
Okay, real answer now, please.
My God came to me
Real answer now,
and
please.
told me to come here and save everybody.
Babus, place him. Evander, take him into sky. You don't need to keep.
I've seen
Crazy.
Evander, she's really hot.
Yes, okay, very good.
She likes me.
I'm sure. Babus would be very proud, but no need. Like, why you
What
come
do you
back? Babus no more.
Really? He snuffed it?
He tried to fight back. He tried to.
I told him.
Him and guards.
He shouldn't
and
be fighting, he should be teaching but not fighting.
He tried to lead all the guards and all the men and women from Greybell. They thought maybe we fight back. They tried to storm Manor, thinking they tried to do it during day when Kenan asleep. They not find coffin. They not find his body. He leave trap. He kill many.
You couldn't really stop him.
No.
He tried. And you know what? There's still a lot of us left. And that's what matters. You gotta look ahead.
Yeah.
Like you always taught me.
Still live. Aye. Yeah.
So let's scrape together what
Like
we...
grabs your cheeks,
Okay,
kiss,
yeah,
kiss
yeah.
on the face.
Yeah.
So good to see you, boy. So good.
I can't believe Morella's here. It's amazing.
You defeat vampire. Now you bring back girl from dead.
You know.
This you or
Infra.
boyfriend?
This was a group effort. There's more than just me and Reynard. There's
Where?
also,
Yeah.
Yeah, flying around. You'll probably see some eagles flying around.
You have bird. Nice birds.
I do actually own a bird.
Apparently, camera's busted.
Ah, there's the flickering camera.
Oh no.
We're gonna fix. So we're gonna take a quick break. Sam's gonna try and fix the camera. Apparently, one of them is going mental. Sam's gonna jump in and fix this.
It's a
We'll be
quick
back
little cable
ASAP.
issue.
Yeah.
We'll be back soon.
Back.
ASAP.
Don't go
ASAP.
anywhere.
We can stay live.
We're staying
Oh,
live. Sam's
stay
gonna
live.
come in and fix it.
Stay
He's gonna
live.
fix it live.
Just got to pause the immersion.
Impose the immersion. Which one is it? Is it on the main one?
Yeah.
Everyone say hi to Sam.
Sam's in here, everyone.
Hi, Sam.
Right. So, at this point, Juto and Alora, you'd probably be sort of like reaching the manor, and you can see this kind of conversation. You can see this big group. You notice probably Morella first, separated from the rest, with what looks to be, a big group crowd. They all look very dirty and ragged. I can keep talking until the camera comes back. They all look very dirty and ragged, a little bit malnourished, but they're just swarmed around Cam and the others, basically. And you see this kind of ahead of you as it all happens. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
Looks good.
Hopefully it's fixed.
I'm
Looks
just gonna,
good.
super quick, I didn't go to the toilet before I started.
Tom Hazel.
He was like, this is my out.
Streamers.
Finally, this is my out.
Professional streamers. Professional.
You
Do we
see-
continue with the
Yes,
RP?
just
Yes.
continue. Fuck
I
it.
was going to
Fuck
go
him.
up to Reynard actually.
I'm going to
Oh.
hold back. Just watching everything, I'm going to hold back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be squeezing LD's arms.
Just like slaps your hand away. What?
Just wondering if you got weak.
No.
Been working out?
I've been keeping,
You've been doing your morning yoga?
of course.
Then
I
when
still
they let
brew.
you-
I still brew good teas. The vampire, he, how do you say? Underestimate myself and old and young.
I think
You
that was...
think we all like old people?
Well, that's the future of the Bucklands right there. Obviously, you're old, but you can teach them.
Old.
And
You didn't
That
wash
was
your hands.
incredibly quick.
You did not wash your hands.
I did like a real quick, like,
He did a splash wash.
splash under the tap. It's all good.
I think we need to rebuild Greybell. However, I can't be here to do it.
Greybell.
Yeah,
Who rebuild?
someone.
Well, the citizen. There's some alive, yeah.
We need to clean the streets of this horrible situation.
She kind of like looks, and you can see that some of them kind of get a bit sort of like, not agitated, but sort of like a bit unsure what to say. And Eldie's like, some will do this, yes. They send people from the big city, Talisval. They send big people city to do clean up.
Talisval's kind of preoccupied right now. And that's kind of the reason that I have to go
Okay,
with Reynard and the other two that you haven't met yet.
okay,
I'm sure they'll come around any moment.
okay.
But, yes, we have a greater purpose.
Great. I mean, you're clearly very powerful men. You
I am?
divine power or something.
Yes?
Babus be very proud, but yeah, sure.
Yes.
But no, we leave. Bucklands go.
Well, yeah, I expected as much. Where are you
Yeah.
going?
Well, we get back on the road. We find wagon, city empty. We get back to life. Get back to Buckland life. We travel. We cannot. We here too many bad memories. Too much death. Can't stay here.
I think someone needs to take responsibility for this town, though.
She just shrugs. I don't know how many people survive. Some villagers, but I hear Bloodcode speak of them. They're very scared. They stay in house. They come out when told.
It would be a great waste,
Waste of what?
this place, if it were to fall because of some vampires.
She kind of looks and she's like, "Sweet boy, this place, some lord, some men with coin, with guards and men, they
Some
come.
asshole.
No, they come, they take city. They always do.
We need someone good.
Yes, but we Bucklands cannot do this. Our life is on the road. Babus teach you this.
It may not be us Bucklands, but we have a good sense of character.
Then pick someone. Find. You go find someone.
I think I may have someone in mind. If these...
I can't do it. I know I'm a great guy, Reynard.
Oh, sweet boy. Sweet lover boy.
Thank you.
Your name, Rainy.
Reynard.
Rainy.
Reynard.
He likes Reynard.
Nardo.
That'll do.
Nod.
No, Reynard.
Nods.
Nardo will do.
She like chuckles. I call him Nards.
Please keep
Like
going.
testicle.
Yeah, she grabbed those earlier.
yeah.
I'm not sure if you know, a little bit of mental scarring. If you don't wish to stay here, that's perfectly acceptable. After what you've seen here, it makes
won't.
sense.
They won't.
Bucklands, we are. I do not know how much
They're a travelling
my boy
troupe.
tell you. We live on the road. We stay in no place. We stayed here too long.
If anything, she'd probably burn this place to the ground if she had to
I
stay
will
here.
not burn this place.
She would.
I will.
Your cooking would burn the place
Do
down.
you think that people have left gold?
No. Don't go rooting for it.
Food?
Probably.
Supplies.
But it might be moldy by now. But how do they keep you alive?
They have food. They have some
Well, then
grain, things like that.
take that.
Okay, we take this. Okay.
But don't
Who
take
then? And she kind of points at like the two figures, kind of like on the outskirts, like, hey, demon,
What?
demon,
Demon?
look,
LD,
Demon!
please.
destroy it, send it away with god power,
You can't say that.
send the Vandra power.
Avandra would
Babus.
slap you on the face for saying such things.
No,
Yes.
no.
This is Juto. She is a dear friend.
You friend with demon.
She's not a
Very
demon.
powerful,
She's not a demon.
very clever.
This is old speak.
Great demon. She like bows her head. Oh, very powerful. What did he bind you with? He binds you with spell? No. I break spell.
The magic of friendship.
She'll break your face if you keep talking like that.
My face very hard. Difficult to break.
She's
Mr.
a very...
Buckland, you must respect your elders.
But she's disrespecting
I like
you.
demon. I like
Where's
her.
the respect scale? Do I respect you?
I can
Or do
respect demon.
the racism.
I
What
respect
do
demon. Very powerful.
But she's not a demon. Kind of.
Horn, tail.
There's more to her than just the race.
Yes, I'm not judging this. I'm simply pointing demon. Now I have proven she not evil. She not try and kill.
Okay, good.
You missed the
Juto,
sharp teeth.
Ah, sharp teeth. See? Demon agree.
She has a name.
Demon, if he has bound you with spell, I release. You wish me to break? You service. You work for me? Work for LD? Hmm?
Will you be staying in Greybell to restore it?
No, we go. Too much death. Too much death, too many bad memory. We cannot stay.
I cannot follow you, dear lady.
Useful thing, demon, to have. Once knew powerful imp. Served great-grandmother. Very useful. Good cook.
This is Alora. She's a moon elf. She's nobility, so treat her as such.
Laura, don't raise your hands.
Yes.
She like
Don't. She's nobility.
she looks at you and this kind of old woman kind of stretches her. And you can see like the rest are all kind of like just watching in sort of awe And LD kind of comes up and she's just like looks, and then she like grabs your bicep. So strong, princess, strong princess. Oh, I am LD Buckland. You need good musicians. We have some. We wish perform at your court. Pay money, good money. You're rich, very rich princess.
She's got enough, thanks. She's got musicians.
Not Buckland good though.
She's got
why
me.
you not sell? Sell family. We go work.
She's already.
I would love to have Buckland performers.
I bring.
Don't.
Olaf.
Don't bring this to your town,
Contract.
Maybe,
Write up contract.
maybe
remember
not
the-
right now. I don't know if Cam's mentioned, but we have other business to take care of. But after that,
Yes,
I
after.
would be honoured.
We must rest, recover. Perhaps we find people that wish to join family again.
That boy. Over there.
Yeah.
I'm
Which one? You're
Kel.
pointing at to Kel? Takel, his name. It's not to. Takel is his name.
Takel.
Yeah. What about him? He good boy.
Tell me about him.
We found him. Just before you he was around just before we came to Greybell, but Babos look after him while you were doing performance. We good boy.
Trained by Gramps?
Not doesn't like good. More good juggle.
Good juggler.
Hey.
Hey!
What?
Takel!
Yeah. What?
Come over.
You can.
Yep.
I've heard about you.
What have you heard?
I heard that you were a bit of an idiot, but then they said that.
How is this?
Then they said that the vampire man killed you, and then they said that he didn't, and then people were hoping that you'd come back and save us, and he did.
I did.
So you can't be that much of an idiot.
No. Are you an idiot?
No.
So what are you going
I'm
to do
well
now?
clever. I can count to 7.
Whoa. Really?
Yeah.
It's more than Cam.
That's like... Yeah,
It's two
I can.
more than 5.
I can as well,
Yeah.
obviously. What are you going to do?
Go where LD tells me.
And then, when you grow up,
Juggle.
what's your ambition?
I want to be able to juggle 3 manticores. Because they're really big.
Yeah,
It's a good goal.
It's a great goal.
Also, I want to own 4 horses.
You're not going to steal them, are you?
No, I want to buy them.
Good.
With
Perfect.
money I've stolen.
Nope. There's a few things you need to learn about the world, and it can't all be stealing. You listen to LD, okay?
LD just winks at him.
LD, what have you been teaching him?
I teach nothing.
Look, there's some things...
I make good potion. Make you very sneaky.
Takel,
Yeah?
listen to me.
Okay.
Can't go through life running away, okay? And you face something awful in this town.
Yeah?
Use that to grow,
Yeah.
okay?
I will.
And I don't mean physically and get bigger.
I should fight more vampires.
No.
Like you did.
Nope.
Yeah.
This is not coming out the way I
You
wanted
said
it to.
face my problems.
Usually when
Like
I
they
give,
were really scary, and if I've got to fight something I'm scared of,
No!
I can fight more skeleton men.
No,
Why?
maybe just
But
protect...
you did it.
Yeah, but I had to. Don't go out looking for the fights. Just protect what you have.
Okay.
Because these people around you, and I kind of turn them around,
Does that mean I get to learn
Just shut up
how
and
to
listen.
fight with a sword?
maybe. Start with wooden swords. These
Okay.
people are the most important people in your life.
Yeah, they're Bucklands. That's a family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So protect them.
Yeah.
You're the new me.
Okay. Does that make me an idiot, LD? We'll see.
I'm done.
Maybe.
I'm done. Good luck on your travels.
Okay.
It's been nice.
LD comes up, is like, wait, look, we're very grateful. You speak to Amelia before we go.
Yes. Also, if there's a way I can find you after all the Talisval stuff,
Yeah. Okay.
you go
You
to
know,
the,
you
go
know,
to the
how, you
normal
know how
spots.
to find us.
Yeah,
You
I'll
know how
find
to
you.
find us.
I'll find you.
We take some time. We find some wagons. We get supplies, clothes, equipment that we need.
Stay clear of Talisval
Okay.
and all the surrounding towns.
Bed?
Bad.
Okay. We head south.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't go cold places in the north.
Okay.
Stay south.
Stay south.
Don't go to Brazeros.
Dragon Kingdom?
Don't
no,
go there.
We'll not go there. Crazy desert. I don't travel ourselves. No.
Just go somewhere quiet.
Yeah, this place south. Unbroken Empire, good. Very safe.
I think kind of hearing Cam talk about family and stuff, and him kind of had that jibe at Brasaris, I'm just going to kind of let out a little sigh and walk off into the manor and just under the pretense of like
searching for stuff and things like that. What are the rest of you doing at this point?
I think noticing Juto go away, I'll probably
head
with her.
I'm gonna...
Knowing that Cam's got family, don't want to interfere too much.
Can I find my way back to the Black Hearth crypt?
Yeah, you can easily find your own way back there. It'll take you a while, but you can definitely make your way back.
Okay. Cool. I want to do that.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, Juto and Elora, when you arrive at the manor, you can see that the door is open. You see more kind of discarded piles of these creatures, like these kind of undead executioners. They've kind of fallen into pieces, basically. There's maybe 2 or 3 of them in the grounds. And then apart from that, as you enter inside, you occasionally see like a pile of ash. Karen must have turned quite a lot of people into these spawn, because you do occasionally just see these piles of ash with like clothing and jewelry kind of like sort of left in the remnants of things like that. Are you looking for anything specific, or are you just investigating the manor as a whole?
I'd like to look for some kind of library that Strahd books might be in, and also for the
stuff for Testament and Librum.
Yeah.
Okay. Making your way through the house, there's a couple of things you probably pick up on. Neither of you are particularly materialistic, but you can tell this is a very rich manor. The furniture is extremely well made. There are paintings on the walls. You do see like bits of jewelry inside these ash piles of these former spawn. You make your way through. You don't find anything on the ground floor that matches a library, and nothing that looks like a vault or anything where precious things might be stored in particular. As you hop up onto the second floor, you kind of have to weave your way through like a double kind of like stairwell that leads up, and then right in front of you, as you kind of crest up onto the second floor in the set of stairs, is a long hallway, at the back of which you do see, kind of encased in glass, is an armor stand with incredibly beautiful scale mail. It seems to be made from different interlocking plates. Juto, you would actually probably recognize the metal it's made from, because it is metal that the Dragonborn mine using tieflings in Brasaris. It's called adamantine, and it's incredibly strong. It's a very, very strong metal. The Dragonborn use it in a lot of their weapons and armor and things like that. It's very rare. It's very, very valuable. It's generally only found in the desert, and it's very difficult.
Does it look like it's made for a dragon?
No, it looks like it's made for a person, which is unusual. It's not the whole thing isn't made from adamantine, but most of like any vital areas, like around the throat, kind of like around like kind of the rib cage, the chest. That's all adamantine, and then the rest is regular steel with leather and things like that. It looks like it was made for a woman. But you can see that there is kind of like this kind of ever so slight kind of almost like shimmer to it as well. And there is a kind of engraving at the bottom of it, of this case, which just says it is... Basically, it's like a small retelling. It's like a couple of sentences. It basically says, once worn by the heroine Ashford Blackhearth, when she, after the defeat of the Orcish warlord who tried to take over our lands, kind of thing. And it looks quite old. It looks like maybe it's kind of, you can see the leather's a little bit worn, but the metal itself looks perfectly fine. That's one of the most interesting things you see. Eventually, you kind of find like a library where it's not particularly large. There's kind of a few big stacks of bookcases full of books. Most of it tends to be the kind of stuff that you would find in Talisfal, kind of either fictions or books on farming, kind of the stuff that everyday person might collect. But you do notice that there is a large safe built into the library wall, and that is pretty securely locked.
Is Uncle Farahorn's book among the books in the library?
No.
Darn. They're not fans.
He's not, he's not a classy guy.
Evidently.
It's like, it's like going into like a rich lord's house and saying like, is the latest Dan Brown here? Like, no.
Why not?
They don't know what they're missing.
No, clearly not. The library, the safe looks quite strong. Not quite sure what to make of that. And yeah, that's like, you kind of see that. You can keep searching the house. It's quite a massive estate. Like, you actually have to spend quite a lot of time going through the rooms. You also haven't found the master bedroom yet. You haven't seen that. You think that there might be a third floor somewhere.
I don't suppose I could use my elemental attunement to like freeze the handle of the safe and like try and
You can
freeze
try.
the
So
mechanism.
You start like concentrating, and you're kind of like, it's more that you're kind of like, you're having to pull moisture from outside, kind of flow the water into the lock and then freeze it. And it takes quite a lot of concentration and quite a lot of time as well, of like slowly kind of drawing this water in and freezing it colder and colder and colder. You give me just give me a dexterity check. I'll treat this as if you were basically using lockpicks.
Dexterity checks, so just +5.
Yeah, just +5. You're not really proficient in what you're doing. 9. You're like, you think you can keep trying to go, but you run the risk of potentially breaking the mechanism. So you kind of hold off. You can keep trying, and you can still keep doing it, but you reckon that if you do too much, you could potentially break the mechanism completely. And Laura, what about you? Are you just following Juto along?
Yeah, can I keep looking for it? Have we found any Strad? Nothing so far.
It's probably
You
in
go
the
through the
safe.
books on the library, like,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like, this all looks like
Or in
fairly
the
obvious
master
stuff.
bedroom if there's...
There's a few
I
rotten
got
desks.
masonry tools.
Basically, you've got a chisel and a hammer, yep.
Chisel it, I don't know.
I don't think I
Yeah,
have
you can
anything
try.
that's
I
gonna
mean,
help.
chiseling steel is a little bit different to trying to chisel stone and things like that. It's kind of, but you can definitely try.
Do I get advantage? 'Cause I'm
You won't get
proficient.
advantage. You will be able to add your proficiency bonus, but it would be
Can
a
I
strength check rather than dex if
Cast-
you're going to be doing that.
I'll guidance.
Guidance, yeah?
You get to add a d4.
D4. So it probably would be better actually though if I continued with the ice. I don't know.
I mean, it's basically the same, isn't it? 'Cause it's +5 proficiency or +5 dex. You don't have a strength bonus. It's basically like you have the choice of either trying to kind of very carefully, dexterously freeze the lock from the inside and then open it, or basically brute force with a chisel and hammer and try and take the hinges off, I guess.
What does Laura think?
Try it. If not, we can try brute force.
I'm gonna change my dice.
Worst comes to worst.
Yeah.
Break it down.
Yeah, if you break the lock mechanism, the best thing after that would be to
Brute
basically
force.
take the hinges off, but
Okay.
that will take a considerable amount of time.
Okay, so I will try and the freezy method. So that's
Okay.
+5 and then a D4.
D20 +5 and then plus a D4.
Nice.
11.
11. You don't quite damage it, but you're also not getting any closer. Like you don't really know locks, so
Yeah.
you're just trying to base it on what you think might be the right way, but nothing's shifting. You're like, nothing's breaking, nothing's trying.
Laura,
What would
with
you
your
like to do?
strength, would you be able to
Just rip it off.
do
I can
something
try.
with the hinges?
Can I try?
It's just a pure strength check in that case. If you just want to rip the.
25?
That's actually exactly what you needed, because pulling the door off of a safe is pretty hard.
I'm
Laura
really
just kind of
fucking
goes like,
strong though.
with the kind of like, Juto has weakened sort of like the
bad day.
joints and things. and then
She's weakened it.
warmed up,
Loosen
Yeah.
that chance.
And it takes like, for the first time since you've put this belt on, this is the first thing which has really made you strain. You kind of put your boots up on the wall, the muscles bulge, the veins go, and then just, you hear like metal begin to creak and snap. And then you throw the safe-like thing behind you, it smashes into the bookcases, knocks loads of them flying.
I just
and
cringe at the
leaves
sound it
open.
makes and then brush myself off and go, ta-da!
Inside the safe here, you see 2 books.
Whoa.
One of which is bound almost in dragon hide, black scales.
Can I just check if there's any sort of traps or arcane things around?
Sure.
Because just
Yeah,
based on
absolutely.
his coffin
Investigation.
had stuff like that on it. Meh. Investigation.
Is there a trap?
Actually,
Nine.
perception. It would be perception for this one.
17.
17. You notice, just underneath the books, glowing.
Don't
Almost
touch
like
anything.
glowing runes, waiting for something to move the books.
Don't touch anything. There's a trap.
So one's a
I
Dragonhide
will.
book.
So one is made from a black dragon scale. Upon its cover, you do see a strange kind of symbol, almost like a skull, but it's not really of anything you've recognised before. Almost, it does look quite demonic, like almost like a demon skull. The other one is more of a traditional looking book. It's in a dark black leather with silver kind of claspings. The pages are yellow and it looks very, very old. And just on the kind of binder of the book, you see the symbol of a raven just imprinted there onto a silver seal.
Is there any language on either that I can see?
So, on the, like, trying to peer at it while it's in the safe, you can't quite see. You can see on the black leather with the silver raven kind of symbol, you do see, you see the words, you can kind of vaguely make out the words Barovia, Strahd, and like teachings or something like that, maybe. But it's written in a form of common that without your kind of key trained mind, you probably wouldn't have been able to understand. The other book is written in Draconic, which I think you speak already, right?
Yeah.
And
I suddenly have Tongue of the Sun and Moon.
Wait, oh, okay. I thought maybe from before, like in Brasaris, you'd learnt Draconic. The second book is you get the sense that the wording doesn't quite make sense. It's basically almost like kind of, I think, some sort of necromancer's journal. There's a name you don't recognise, but then it speaks of like the path of death or something like that. But its kind of wording is very strange.
Can I cast Dispel Magic?
You can. And I believe that it will automatically work because it's a 3rd level spell.
Hot diggity.
Hot diggity damn.
Any spell
diggity, we
3rd
actually
level
got-
or lower, the target ends.
Yeah, I'm just checking
Managed to
if
open
the
something
spell
without
you're trying
exploding
to get rid of
instantly.
is...
Because none of the boys were there.
Yep, it's 3rd level,
maybe
so
that's
the
it.
glowing fades. The runes disappear.
I'd like to take the Dragonhide book if you.
You can take them both if you want.
Okay,
I would like to take both of them
you
out.
take the both books out, yep, and yeah, you hold them. They look like books.
Can I open? Well, can I kind of look at the necromancer's one and see if there's anything like if I open it I'll go mad or anything? I don't know, any spell or.
You can make an Arcana check. You know, you are not magically trained, really. Do you have the ability to detect? I mean, it looks like a book.
YOLO, I'm gonna open it.
Yeah, you open the book. It's written in a person's hand. You think maybe a Dragonborn wrote this because the claw, the way that it's been written is very sharp, almost like a claw was holding it, or maybe somebody that isn't quite used to writing with a human hand at least. And it seems to be. It starts off as almost the not quite ramblings of a madman, but although it does kind of degenerate into a lot of kind of like rambling talk, it is some sort of spellcaster who was detailing their research into undeath and undead. It makes reference to places called the Shadowfell. It makes references to all sorts of undead creatures. It refers to something called a phylactery and a lich. All different things. Nothing really that would make sense to Juto. Like, this is all stuff that you're just kind of flicking through. It doesn't seem to have any teachings of spells, but it does refer to rituals and things like that. Not really something you understand very well.
Cool.
Well, we found those. That's great. But I think we should check and see if there's anything else if there's a master bedroom, if he's got any other safes or anything.
We also need to destroy this book.
Yeah,
And
we
I
do.
hold the Strahd one out.
I'm going to cut to Reynard. You make your way down into the catacombs,
Yeah.
and you pass through, you walk back. I'm taking you heading towards the tomb where Dastan was.
Yeah, Dalston, yeah.
So you make your way back, and you enter, and you find it just eerily quiet.
Dalston, are you here still?
It's just a silence.
Well, if you can hear me, and I doubt it, then I have the bittersweet news that the Blackhearth family has unfortunately perished with Karen. Greybell is now left without a leader, though the Blackhearth blade must go to someone. And I sort of start walking forward, and is there almost like a place for Karen? Would there have been
There
a place
would have
for
been a
Karen?
place for him, yeah. There would be basically an empty space an empty tomb, effectively. It has no features. It has like the vague shape of a man, but you suspect that masons probably would have made it look like him upon his death.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's got all the...
It's got the names.
And there was like the map of all of the rulers
The
and
line
stuff
of
in
the rulers
Greybell.
and stuff, yeah.
I think it's worth everyone knowing where the Blackheart family ended and who caused its destruction. And I'm going to lay the Blackheart blade on Karen's tomb, so that all that's left is
Yeah,
that.
you kind of have to like slide it ever so slightly and then put the sword there.
And just leave it to rest there.
Okay.
And hopefully, I guess Dulstan's moved on there, but...
Yeah, I mean, like, there's just silence, this kind of peaceful silence over the room.
And that's it really, just...
You just leave the blade there, and then you just leave.
Yeah.
Shut the door on your way out.
Yeah, shut the door and make it so it's super shut, so no one comes in and steals that stuff.
Well,
But, you know...
You shut the door, yeah. But
Just let the Blackheart family to rest, really.
Okay.
And there's the sword.
fantastic. Okay. Okay.
Good rain.
And then
Good
Reynard
rainy.
begins making his way back. Ken Buckland, is there anything you want to...
I'm telling the whole group. I imagine I've sat them all down,
Uh-huh.
and I'm telling my entire story.
Okay.
It's like, so then I did a performance
Okay.
in front of all of the people in the centre of Talisval, blah, 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 the whole shebang.
When you tell people about the performance,
It went really well.
you see Morella. Is that the one I was supposed to do? Huh? Wasn't that the one that Amelia and I were supposed to go and do?
Don't interrupt. You don't interrupt the storyteller. That's very
Well,
rude.
I'm interrupting the storyteller when I think that they might have taken my job. How much was that supposed to pay again? That was 500 gold, wasn't it? Was it? I think you
I
might.
thought it was a
I think-
freebie.
I think you owe the family 500 gold.
I don't. I think I saved your lives from vampires.
Maybe you did, but you also stole a contract. That's a pretty big no-no in the Buckland family.
Is it? I still did it for the Bucklands.
She kind of grins.
You can have 50 gold. I got 50. I just like offer a pouch.
LD kind of takes that.
I'll give the rest back when the world is
Morella
safe.
just laughs and is like, "You didn't have to give anything. I was just curious if that was the same one."
Anyway, before that rude interruption, I just carry on the story.
Some of the Bucklands do have, are like, basically you see them kind of going into, like, behind sort of like probably what used to be inns but have been partially destroyed. They find like, not big wagons that they used to travel in, but they find like carts and things like that and they begin loading it up. Some of the younger ones come back with fresh clothing that looks like they found in people's houses and stuff, but the Bucklands start trying to put stuff on. It's probably at this point that another big group of people starts making their way, and you see, following some of the kids that are returning, Takel actually comes up and he's just like, "Cam, we found some other people and they wanted to speak to someone about what's happened. I think there's more of them, but not many, but I just brought these ones because they were the ones that asked."
Greybellians.
I think so, yeah.
I'll talk to them.
Okay, and you can see that there is 4 people, humans, one man, grey-haired, like maybe nearly 70, kind of stooped back, and you can see he looks exhausted. It looks like he's not slept in days. Following him is a young woman, sort of like pale dress, maybe like a granddaughter or something, or a niece or something like that, or a great-granddaughter, along with 2 older women as well, like maybe sort of like one's in their 50s, one's in their sort of like 60s, and they kind of approach you, and the man has like a hat in his hands, and he kind of approaches, he's like, "Excuse me, are you, who are you? Are you one of the ones that..."
It doesn't matter. All you need to know is you and your surviving people are now safe from the darkness that gripped this place.
He, like, you can see that the younger girl just is like wide-eyed and just staring. The 2 older women are like literally like holding back tears, like holding up their hands to their mouths. The man just looks at you. He's like, was it you? You don't look like..."
What were you going to say, huh? You going to insult me?
No, I mean, I didn't think anybody could have done what has happened here. We've prayed to the gods and they have not answered, and...
The gods did answer. They answered to me, and thankfully,
So you are a champion.
me and my group, that are helping, yes.
They just, the man kind of walks up, just grabs your hand, just shakes it.
You're not going to touch my junk, are you?
He just, oh no. I don't know what to say. You've literally saved us all.
I didn't save everybody, and I'm looking around at the desolation in front of...
I don't think anybody could have. It's the fact that you have stopped this creature. I honestly, I thought that we'd been abandoned. I thought that the gods had turned away from us.
Friend, even in the worst darkness, horrible darkness like this, there is always hope.
What do we do now? Oh, the people, there's a few left, but not many. We've been hiding, and sometimes they would come and take us away to feed on, or they would leave us and taunt us to try and escape.
That is all in the past. What was hunting you is now ash, and the people that were brought back are now laying to rest on the streets. You need to rebuild. You need to think of your people, keeping them safe from bandits, people that want to take this town over.
Wait, I don't. He like looks at you in fear. He's like,
You need
we are literally a few old maids, and a few old men, and some young. I don't think we can.
How many of them are there?
There's 4 talking to you now.
I'm going to say...
There's perhaps a few hundred of us in total still alive, but...
I'm going to say, just give me a minute. I'll speak to my god.
All right.
And then we'll get some guidance.
Yes, please. And he like, which god do you serve? Oh, and they just go silent and back off.
I'm going to cast... I can't remember which one it is. It's either Audrey or Gaius, which gives me an idea of something.
Augury, you basically get whether something is for good or ill or both.
I think it's Gaius then.
And then Gaius is you can actually put like a Gaius on someone, like a magical command, forcing it to carry out some service.
What's the one where I can ask a question and then...
That, I think, is called... What's it
I've
called?
done it
Gaius
before.
from Scottish.
I did it before we went to this town.
To put a Gaius on someone.
I can't remember.
Well, the guy
Yeah,
did... That was
yeah.
Augury, which is you can tell whether something is for good, ill, or thingy. There's legend lore, which Elora did.
Legend lore.
I think it was Augury that you did before we came here, though.
Yeah, legend
it?
lore is about a specific item.
Yeah, you
Can I
did it
just
now.
commune, maybe?
Commune
You did-
is
yeah,
commune is a
that's-
different thing. Yeah,
You
commune
did
is a different
that
spell.
with the crazy old man, remember?
That's it, commune. So it's a 5th level.
Can you cast that? Do you have spell slots left?
No, so I'm just going to pretend.
Okay. Sure, you can pretend all you like.
I'm going to open up one eye
Yep.
and look at the crowd, at someone that's holding themselves
There is
together.
4 people talking to you. There's no crowd.
That's it.
There's 4 people that have followed Tekel and have come to
Out
speak
of
to
them
you.
all, which looks like they could hold the blade of Karen Blackhurst.
Honestly, none of them. Like one old man who looks terrified. The girl almost looks like something's like kind of almost a bit broken inside of her. She's just staring kind of like loosely, just kind of following the others around. The 2 old women are sobbing into each other, kind of like thankfully like happy sobbing. But I mean, these look like a very broken people. These look like people who have had everything taken away from them. And if he said that there's maybe a few hundred left, that's like 10, 15% of the population of what this town could hold. It's a very small amount.
Okay. Then it shall be done. Thank you.
Your god has spoken to?
Yes.
What do
She
we do?
tells me that your life is in your hands, and that for the first time in a long time, you have absolute control of your own destinies. No one is going to stop you from what you achieve. However, there'll be many things that will try. So you need to band together and be strong. You gather all the survivors of this town, and you barricade yourselves in for a time while you rebuild. And I, personally, will try and send aid.
Thank you.
If you need time away from the town, I understand.
I think that some
will-
of us will, yes.
I will offer the Bucklands, these people over here.
He looks over them and you can see that they look quite, not jolly, but they're getting on with it. They are being very practical. This is the Buckland way of we've got a job to do, let's get on with it.
These people will take you in for a time and get you back on your feet and give you some therapy. They're good at back rubs too, if you want that. Don't
Yes.
ask for LD.
I will go and speak with the others and to see what they wish to do. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Okay.
He's just like really sort of like, you can tell that these people not quite worship you, but they are so indebted, like that they are very reverent. Like they bows his head, they're constantly like turning around and thanking you. The younger girl just kind of follows. He like takes her hand and she kind of like absently just follows after him and stuff like that. He kind of speaks to the women and then they head off basically back the way they came.
Cool. I guess that's the best I can do for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm actually going to properly pray now and see if I can reach out to Evandra now that the darkness is gone and tell her that, the day is won.
You get the sense that your message is received, but being a goddess, she doesn't always able to respond. Unless you're channeling spells.
No, I'm not going to ask for a response.
Yeah,
I'm just
it's like you're
informing.
kind of like saying, hey, I did a good job, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you still have the golden shimmering blade that she
I'm
gave
gonna
you
look
at your
at that
side.
while...
Yeah. You see the little twinkling coin on the chain, sort of like winking at you, sort of,
I'm going to shout back at the old man. Did you have a couple of people save you? They look quite rugged. They have weapons on them.
No, we've been holed up inside. Normally at night, or until the sun is high in the sky, we do not normally dare even leave our homes.
So how did you get out? You just stayed in the house?
We saw sunlight.
Right.
For the first time in weeks, we saw the sun.
Right. Okay.
I saw that boy. I asked him what had happened. He said that some heroes had saved us.
Yeah, there were two others as well.
I'm afraid that you are the only one I have seen, my friend. But I would love to tell the others my thanks.
I'll pass it along when I find them.
Thank you. And he just nods and heads off.
Okay.
Cool. It is time for a proper break.
Yeah.
How are we doing on order?
I'm just going to assume it's on its
its
way.
way. We are going to take a short break because it's about time for a break, so we're going to play some ads. And we'll be back to carry on this kind of resolution of this arc very, very soon for a bit more RP. So join us very shortly.
Goodbye.
Bye for now. Don't go
Bye for
anywhere.
now. We'll be back. We'll be back.
We'll get back
I need a wee.
Now hear ye, oh you rascals, with the bellies full of pie, and listen to this tale of old where the heroes both beat high.
He's the master of concealment and an adept at disguise.
With heroes is when he's seeking fast as husband wants to lie.
He's slain many a villain, be it dragon, buff or wizard. He's looted chests of all the best of treasures he could find. He's the undefeated champion of adventure, war and passion,
And he sings this song as he goes along with a fiddle and a pipe. The grass is green, the air is clean, a sweet lass by my side. There ain't no fun in looking so as squeeze her on behind. The world is full of monsters, well, but they ain't here at the time. So let your roast propose a toast to these drunken friends of mine. A hero journey far and wide, but it riches, gold and magic. For he never found his true love song, and it made him sad in time.
He was walking, he was shot as he was singing.
And I made a fan from over there with a bow and she was mine.
She apologized profusely, said she thought he wasn't warm. And she carried him to the nearest inn where she nursed him back to life.
Well, they fell in love directly and she married him that night. So they're off they down, they cut me up for a song about their time. The grass is green, the air is clean, the sweet lass by my side. There ain't nobody looking so I squeeze her up left behind. Hey, the world is full of monsters gobbling your left inside. So lift your rose and toast to the drunken friends of mine. Grass is green, the air is clean, the sweet lass by my side. There ain't nobody looking, so I squeeze her.
Hello, welcome back. We have waffles because it's my birthday. We would try and normally eat off stream, but they arrived a little bit later than we expected.
And they are delicious.
And they're delicious.
Didn't want to keep you guys waiting.
We didn't even keep you guys waiting, yeah, exactly. So, we jump back in.
So fucking good.
What's the problem? You alright there?
Don't try and talk to him, he's got his mouth full.
Reynard's not important for this anyway.
So, it's basically the four of you, all in different things. So we have Juto and Alora. We're currently going through Blackhurst Manor looking for various things.
Right,
Cam
stuff.
has just met with some of the residents of Greybell that survived. And yeah, who wants to do what, basically, at this point? Like,
So we're pretty much all back together now, aren't we?
Are we?
well,
Yeah, we're
I mean,
still wandering
you'd
around.
probably be, I'd say that you and Cam can probably meet up.
Oh,
I feel like we should
Fine.
probably get Reynard and Cam to go through the mansion in general, to be honest.
You saying this is Laura or Kay?
Me. I don't know.
Who are you? Are you Laura or are you
Me!
Kay?
Me!
You got
Um,
chocolate on
I know! Is there
sorry.
any napkins? Any napkins at all?
no.
Use that awesome
Fuck's
new High Rollers hoodie.
No, I will not. I'm gonna go and get.
Stored at Yogscast.
Okay,
There
go
it
get
is.
napkins.
It's too warm, actually, this hoodie. In this cold weather, it's too warm.
Are you trying to sell it?
Everyone's really weird. Why are you all weird?
I know.
Why are you all being weird?
It's a very warm hoodie.
So I was
If you're
outside
cold.
Yeah.
the mansion.
Yeah, you're kind of like around the main mansion. The Bucklands are basically slowly getting their stuff together, ready to leave. They are, gathering up carts and supplies from like empty houses that they can find, and they're generally kind of, they're making the best out of the situation as best they can.
They're making the best out of the situation as best.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to be like helping them load stuff onto whatever they've managed to find.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the other guys to
Okay. Well,
arrive.
yeah. I mean, like I would say that you're doing that as Reynard appears.
So what are the other... Because there were 4 people that were talking to Cam before.
You'd probably notice that Reynard doesn't have the blade anymore.
You've arrived? Hello?
Hi.
You gonna help? Where have you been?
Just returning things to the... What's happening here? Are you
Bucklands are leaving.
Leaving?
Yeah.
Were there any other residents of the town?
Yep, found them. There was 4 of them.
4.
Yep. And they're really scared, and they don't want to be in a place where there's loads of vampires. Where
And
they
they're
kill a lot.
leaving with them?
They might take 5 away from the town for a bit to recoup, and then psychologically, and then maybe there's hundreds of others.
Hundreds of others. So there are still...
I've told them to, try and find them and collect together and
Okay.
rebuild this town. Apparently, Kim's mic is rusty.
Stop your rustling mic, because you've got it on your little thing. Put it on your zip.
I'm just going to take it off while
Okay.
Then you're going to forget to put it back on.
I just not saying.
So,
I think people do need to rebuild the town. We could use this place as a good fallback for when things eventually, inevitably, go south in Talasval.
we could. I mean, when we go back to Talasval, we could always say, send a squad up here to clean it out and fortify it.
My family were looking for a place to escape to.
Oh, I see. I see how it is. The Reynards are losing their famous manor, and now they're trying to find a free village to noble up.
Village. This
Not
is an
quite.
immense city.
It's like the
Noble
second
up,
biggest,
no.
isn't it?
Mhm.
It's like
Trying to squeeze in and just take over the manor.
That's not the case at all. I don't see myself as a leader at all. I see them as people who are able to bring back a purpose to this place.
I don't see myself as a leader, says the guy with the inspiring leader for me.
I don't see myself as a Korak.
I just fear that the same thing. I'm not saying your family's bad. I'm just saying.
Not. Maybe Arthur, but not me.
But the rest of your family, you don't get on with them really. And we know your dad's going to want to take over this place. And
He is not. He's not a maniacal leader. He's not Karen.
no, true. He did have the dark powers. And
Exactly. And dark powers, I hope, won't take him over. But he is a good person.
these people are rattled, and I hope he understands that. And hope you can get that through to him. if he were to come to this place and take hold,
It's not take hold, just
grip it
give
by the
them-
balls and
He's a guild
seize it.
leader?
He's ahead of the Ferrohorn Company, which is a member of like the guilds, basically. He's quite important. He's high up in like the structure.
He knows how to organise people, how to get them to work for something.
For his goals.
Not for his goals, to bring back the town, to create a place where people can ultimately and sadly flee to.
Okay, so it's a short-term goal.
Of course.
Long-term, he gets the city.
If people decide him to be a good leader, then absolutely. If
With a
not,
democratic vote.
a democratic vote, of course. He's not going to grab the city.
Everyone can vote, even one-year-olds.
I don't think one-year-olds should vote.
And animals.
Dogs shouldn't vote.
How dare you?
I don't think
There are more dogs intelligent than me out there.
that is true. You shouldn't vote. You absolutely
from
should
Greybell.
not vote. Vote.
Yeah, the people of Greybell should vote, you're right. Like the
Exactly.
dogs and cats that dwell here.
Regardless, whatever happens, I believe them to be good people to come and rally everyone together to get them to rebuild this city.
You need to be part of that initial conversation. And I think it's important for you to oversee it because you are the good part of the Reynard family.
That oddly means a lot, Cam.
And I feel like without your guidance, Arthur will do a good job, but he won't speak up for himself.
Arthur won't do a good job.
You're
Arthur
thinking
is
of one of
Arthur.
the other brothers.
Well, who's
Felton will
the
do a good
Felton.
job.
The mage, yeah.
Felton is like you. He's a good person. However, he won't overrule the more talky
I can
Arthur.
go back and talk to them, let them know how things are in this place, let them know that when they arrive, they may need to clear up a few
A few.
bodies,
A few hundred.
a few hundred.
Thousand.
I'll also, for your sake, let them know that if a man named Strahd comes to speak to them, they should just close the door.
That'll
Can you do
work.
that? Because the mist, you need to plug all holes as well.
I'll let them know to plug. Plug,
Good.
lock the door with a few padlocks.
Just a few. All I'm saying is we have to be super careful. These people have been through a lot. We don't want suddenly a military to take up hold here and then it becomes a military camp and these people don't have a nice place to live anymore.
My family is not militaristic.
But they have guards and they have units.
They have guards that work for the Ferrohorns. They will keep this city safe.
Good.
For the people.
I grill you because I'm being the devil's advocate. Because they need the right thing.
I
And
agree.
because it's fun to grill you.
I disagree. It's not very fun.
It's so much fun.
It's intimidating.
Yeah, good. Well, a leader needs to be able to deal with both sides of the
Meanwhile,
coin.
what's happening with the Bucklands?
Buckland's just going to piss off. That's what a Buckland does. They're going to go into hiding, away from all the problems of the world, wait for the problems to blow over, and then milk people for coin.
And what are you going to do, Cam?
I'm going to help save the world again, like I always do.
It's good to know you're still on our side.
I'm not with Strahd. What are you
Well,
insinuating?
yeah.
That's a big word.
Uh,
Write that down.
I'm just, you just met your family again.
Yeah? Yeah, that was nice.
I'm happy for you is all.
What do you want? Do you want a hug?
I don't want a hug, Cam.
Oh, good, because I just did one hug today, and that's
I
my
s-
quote.
I'm sure I saw that. It was very awkward. I don't want to be a part of that.
I am with this to the end.
Good.
It is my duty.
In which case, is it time for us to start making plans to head back to Talisval?
I think we should probably leave soon, yeah. I imagine a lot's happened in our absence, and even going here in the first place was a major distraction. So, a good one. We saved the world from ultimate evil and a plague that would, destroy everybody, so that's
A
good.
very good thing.
But there's still another threat. You're right.
Yeah, speaking of, where are the other two?
I'm assuming they've met Libram and Testament, and they're probably working their way back. Maybe looting.
Well, no, you've seen them come. You've seen them speak to you, and then you saw them walked into the manor. You saw them go into the Black
You
Hut
literally saw where we
Wait.
went.
They went into the manor.
Reynard didn't because he was down in the catacombs.
But
Well,
they weren't with Libram and Testament. I swear they were going to go find them.
Maybe they left.
Maybe. Can't break the unbroken.
Exactly.
Can't. Let's go in the manor and see what they're up to.
Okay.
Okay. Meanwhile, cut to.
Good, I can eat now.
Yeah.
So
You got
we're
your
probably...
mic on, haven't you?
Yeah, it's right there.
It's right there.
So you two
Still standing in
in
the
the
library
library. Yep.
with the book.
If there's going to be any burning involved, outside, please. First of all, just as a thing.
Can I use elemental attunement just to heat it up in my hand and burn it?
Yes. Like it starts smouldering. You start seeing like the leather begin to crack.
Yeah.
You're still holding it in the air, but the flame is growing hotter and hotter. Might start burning your hand if you don't stop it soon.
There's a lot of books and wood and things that are very flammable here. We can do that later, but we've got it.
I stop.
I was starting to get to the point where, like, yeah, you would either stop or you would start taking fire damage.
I'm fire resistant.
Yeah, it's half damage.
Still damage.
I'm going to wrap them up, not put them in the bag of holding, but just kind of like hide them so
Okay.
people don't know that. And I'm going to shut this. No, actually, the safe's fucked, isn't it? So.
There's
Oh,
just
yeah.
nothing,
I'm
there's
gonna
nothing else
shut
to say.
Like ripped off. No, just
Just
those
the
two
books.
books. Just those
Yeah.
two.
Rest the
Okay.
lid back on top of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just gently place the lid.
Well, yeah, you try. Oh, it's a heavy safe lid, but Alora just puts it there.
Did you do anything with
It's
the
like
armor?
nothing happened.
Give us a moment. It's not the Count Bucklands show today, mate.
What kind of
It kind of was at the start, yeah, but it's not anymore. So yeah, you guys head out of the library. Do you want to continue trying to find other places?
I still wish to see if we can find.
Sorry, that was very unattractive.
What did he do?
Just stuffed his face. Way too much waffle.
Bits started dripping out of me.
You still what?
I wish to find Testament and Libram's belongings. It
Yes.
is important.
Yeah, I think so. When we came in, did we get a sense that there was like, because we know that they were keeping the Bucklands as slaves and stuff like that?
There's definitely,
If
you know,
there's,
there's
like,
a basement.
slaves- yeah,
You're pretty sure
basement.
there's probably a basement somewhere.
I feel
You
like
just didn't see it when you came in.
it's
And your main
likely
thing
going
was
to
the
be in
library, and you
basement.
knew that the library probably wouldn't be downstairs. So
And there's still an upstairs.
you think
So
that,
you
yeah,
said
you think
3
that there might
floors.
be like there's almost like like an attic or a tower or something like that.
Yeah,
like
because
a
we
little
haven't found a master bedroom.
attic space, and yeah, well, that's probably in just another room here on the second floor. So you
Okay.
can probably easily find that.
Yeah, can we? Should we have a look there first, and then if they're not there, then it might be with any belongings that any slaves had, or
We could ask the Bucklands for their assistance.
we could.
Did you say something, mate?
Okay. So you guys continue. You finish exploring the second floor. You do find a master bedroom. You find 2 piles of ash kind of laying on top of the bed itself, sheets dishevelled, clothing kind of spread everywhere. Looking around, how much? It depends on how much you're really looking into things. So inside the master bedroom, you find things like jewelry boxes. Some of it looks quite valuable. Very much so. You see several pieces which might be worth sort of like 20, 50 gold each, that sort of thing. Some of them are in the ash piles. The clothing looks very rich and expensive. Again, kind of, as you made your way through the house, you suspect that, I mean, there's a lot of money just in the stuff here. You know, things like the paintings, the clothing, the furniture. I mean, if you all gathered it up and traded it or, you know, took it to a big city to sell it, there's probably like thousands of gold's worth of stuff in just like the paraphernalia in the house. In terms of jewelry, like I said, there are a few set pieces. Inside the kind of jewelry box in the master bedroom, you find sort of like a kind of like silver choker, like necklace with a sort of like pearl style emblem. Might be worth like 50 gold. You find several rings, small things like that, but nothing that resembles something that Libram and Testament won't wear. I don't know if you want to take any of the actual just stuff, or if you're just like, nope.
The jewelry.
Okay. So, yeah. So you've got like a silver necklace and several rings, probably worth about 75 gold all told.
We're quite low on funds, to be honest, and it might be wise to restock before Talisval kicks off.
Goes to
Horribly.
shit.
On healing things and things. You used potions today, didn't you?
Yes.
We could do with restocking, I think.
That's why I'm taking the jewelry.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think we should.
However, the
Take a
clothes
bit,
and the
but-
paintings I cannot take because
No, but I think that we could maybe offer
Unless
that
we
to
took
the
a
town
wagon. Yes.
to start to rebuild. I think they should use some of this wealth.
Yes, that is very wise. However, I will take the smaller items for us.
Okay. You guys head downstairs, or you kind of like, you make your way trying to find maybe some sort of basement where sort of like vaults or like prisoners or something like that might be kept. As you probably make your way down into the main lobby, you'd probably see Cam and Reynard kind of coming in as it was all kind of happening simultaneously.
You just left the blade down there.
I guess I told him that.
You don't have to decide that. Trot does not get to decide that information, unfortunately. But if you wish to go along with it,
Where's the blade?
As I said, I returned it to...
You left the blade down there?
Oh, good. It wasn't ours to keep. It was the Black Hearth blade.
He's dead. They're all dead.
But it was a family line that led
That is
this
now
town
dead.
to-
To its ultimate doom.
No. Only one in the Black Hearth family was pure evil. Well, not pure evil. Very evil.
This object is a symbol, right? It's a symbol of the town at its
You hear
peak.
that as you're coming downstairs.
A time
We
when...
found some books!
Oh, hey.
Hi! We found the bad...
What books?
The bad ones.
Bad books.
Yeah.
Oh. What bad books?
Reynard, you know what we mean, right?
Pornography.
You would have passed the armour as well when you came downstairs.
Vampire porn.
Do I see that Juto's looking at it like she recognises what it is? Would I recognise what it is? Not necessarily. 'Cause
Give
I'm-
me a history check.
That's a weird face.
17.
17. You probably recognise it as adamantine. Yeah, you've seen it. You've heard about it. Your mother probably told you about it. Like, it is a rare resource. You know, bars of adamantine. Long ago, near the creation of the world and things like that, the dwarves used to collect quite a lot of it, but they mined most of it in sort of like eastern Iraq. But you've heard that mainly it's still found in the desert, because the desert of Bressaris is much bigger than, like, you can fit almost twice the Dawn Republic into Bressaris. It's huge. So the actual kingdom has more resources. Yeah,
Is
you
there
probably
anything else
recognise it as
in-
adamantine.
Is it just that armour in the case? Or is it...
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that where we all are?
It's at the top of like like as you kind of go up to the first floor. It's at the sort of like you can see it there.
I think as we walk to go back down, I'm going to pause at the case and look at the armour again.
So you see them just pausing at sort of like the top of the stairs.
I'm just looking at it and I let out another sigh.
Okay.
I guess that you don't really want this.
No,
But is it useful to you in any way?
it will not fit me and it will hinder my abilities.
But it's valuable.
Incredibly. Adamantine is from Bressaris. Only the strongest metals will suit.
Would it be something that Korak or Cassandra could make use of?
It would be very valuable for Cassandra. Yes.
We hear this.
You hear this conversation.
What's that?
I'm just going to roll my eyes and shut them, like with my back to these idiots.
The bumbling idiot.
Adamantine?
You can just come and look at it.
Well, it's up there.
Yeah. It's not going to come down to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can give me a history check.
Okay. Ooh, this might be good. 15.
15. Again, like you look at it and like, oh, it's a good-looking suit of armor. Yeah, you've probably heard of adamantine. You've never seen it before, but you've probably heard stories about it.
The name that's on there, was it Asher?
Ashford.
Ashford.
Ashford Blackhearth. Yeah.
Did I see any Ashfords while I was down there, down in the crypt?
It's no, actually, it looked like it was all a male line when you went downstairs. You don't remember seeing any
Ladies.
female.
Just lords and leaders down there then.
Wow. But yeah, as far as you know, like, yeah,
Yeah.
With a 13, when I know it's Brisaris.
you don't even know it's adamantine. It just looks like a suit of armor.
He got a 15.
Yeah, 15's what he needed.
A 13, I don't know shit.
Yeah, 15. He barely knows that it's adamantine. He's like, oh,
But I heard them say
Oh.
adamantine.
yeah, you've heard them say it, yeah, but you don't know what
I don't know
adamantine
what that
is.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it looks like
That's shiny.
it would fit Cassandra.
A human woman could fit in it, but I mean, you would all be kind of experienced enough to know that an armor, the plates of the armor could be removed and reforged. Like, it could be made to fit somebody else. It's scale armor, so whatever scale armor is, I think heavy or medium, I'm not sure. I think it might be medium.
What about... I guess it makes more sense that Cassandra would wear it.
It's not really any use to myself or Juto.
I'm just thinking of Amaryllis.
Is it? And would
She's a
it
dragon.
be useful for you or Cam?
Scale mail is medium armor, yes.
Who can actually wear medium armor? Out of
I
us.
think I...
Who can wear?
You,
I can.
Reynard and Cam can. You can't because it's metal.
Yeah,
And,
I can.
Yeah.
So
we've
either of
kind
these
of-
two could wear
it's
it
an
if we
awkward one.
refashioned it.
Does it have any magical properties?
Well, it seems
shimmering.
it's got
You got quite high. You got like a 20. Did you get an 18?
No, I got a
You didn't
17.
even ask me to roll. You were just like,
You make a history check, yeah, because you know, you automatically knew what it was, but
Can I
we'll
see
roll,
if-
roll a check to see if you know the actual what adamantine does. You just know that the Dragonborn wanted it. You know it's very tough.
do
That's
I
what you know.
do I get any advantage? Because
Yeah, well,
girl.
you know, the thing is you know all the information you probably know.
Girl.
This is to know the more mechanical side of things, which I don't think you would technically have any advantage over,
Can I
because you
see
never
the
would have been
shimmer?
allowed to wear it.
13.
13, yeah, no. You know about adamantine because of what you probably knew
You
people that
asked
had to
me.
mine it. You know that it's very valuable, but that's it.
Yeah, my
You
family.
You
asked
can make
if
an
it was
Arcana
magic.
check if you want.
Yeah.
Or if anybody has the identify spell, you can cast that. as
Oh,
well.
Arcana check as well. Yeah, that was a history.
Detect magic.
No, that was yeah. it was-
17.
This is she's looking at the actual magical effects. If there's
Oh.
any magical effects,
17.
I mean, there's no direct enchantment, but you suspect that adamantine itself has a magical property. Maybe makes it somehow more defensive. You're not really sure.
There's something to it, but
Yeah, you know that there is definitely some sort of like this is not just a suit of normal armor.
We should take it anyway, and we can figure out what to do with it later.
just wait a second.
Do you
Is
want me
there
to
any
punch the glass?
runes or anything around it?
Oddly
that
not.
No.
Oddly not. This almost looks like it's kind of just been like it's not been taken out of the
Forgotten
case. It
about it a
looks
little
like just like the case is quite dusty in a way.
It is unusual to see this here. Many would have died to mine this much adamantine.
Well,
It's not a full suit of it. It is like just
Partial.
parts, but it's still a lot. Like
the Blackhurst were very wealthy and they're very extravagant, so it doesn't surprise me, to be honest.
I mean, when you did like a 17 history, I mean, it does. The armor looks old. The armor
was
does look.
Arcana. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you did, initially it was to figure it out. It does look old. You don't think that this has probably been made in maybe sort of like this was probably pre-Lightfall. This armor.
If either of you wear it, you must do so with respect and the knowledge of those who died for this metal.
What do you mean?
Slaves.
Oh. Okay. Do you want us to just burn it?
No,
We can just burn it.
it would be better if they died for something.
It's true. Well,
If
some of
it's
them might still be.
useful- If it's useful to either of you, we know that we're walking into a very dangerous battle. If either of you can use it in some way, or we can give it to one of our allies who can, then I think we should.
Well, I'm really strong.
That's
And
a
Reynard
lie.
is also kind of strong. Not quite as,
Stronger than you.
but I'm quite valuable in terms of keeping you all alive. So maybe I should have it.
Well, I mean, Cam.
You already have quite a lot of armor, Cam.
Do I? I've got a little buckler.
Cam, we've seen you fall in battle and stand right back up again. Meanwhile, if I go down,
Yep,
I will fall, and that'll be the end.
that's true. That is a good point. Let's think about it. Let's put it in the bag of holding.
No.
Why?
The organic matter may decay.
The Everseed is in there.
Yeah, but it's not a life.
We don't know what that thing affects. Look
This
at the grapes.
Everseed is such a nightmare.
Cam, think about the grapes, okay?
That was a great circumstance for those grapes to be
I
in.
mean, the three of you, probably not Cam with his intelligence of 8. I mean, the three of
9.
you, it's got leather buckles and things like that. Like, leather it's
Yep.
technically dead, but, you know, it might be okay. You don't really know. You've not tried it on stuff like that. You've only ever experimented with
Not a
living
risk.
things.
Would you
I'm
tell me
willing
that
to-
adamantine would be fine, like metal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you saw that when you were dealing with the Everseed initially anyway, like, the metal and stuff could hold it.
I don't think we should chance it,
The metal will be fine.
but it's all attached.
Yes, but an armourer could refit it within a day.
We just stuff
And
it in
if
the
it is
bag.
going to be on Mr. Buckland, then we would need an armourer anyway because he does not have protrusions.
What do you mean?
It's fit for a woman at the moment.
I can fill the cups. You just pad it.
Okay.
Extra padding across the heart. It's quite a good defence, really. You can fill them with bricks.
And just weigh yourself down. Yes.
What's your intelligence?
It's
quite high, isn't it?
11.
Oh, 11. Oh, you used to have the headband of intellect, but you don't anymore.
14.
I think Elora is the most intelligent one. I mean, you've always heard the stories of, I mean, it doesn't have breasts on the armour. I'm going to make this clear now. Most armour for women doesn't have boob plate because if you get hit there, it will break your fucking ribs. It's just like the actual like shape of like
Yeah, but it's
it would be
got
more around the
space
hips
for it.
and like it's kind of got like a little slight elevation and stuff like that, but it's more like around the hips and the waist and things like that. It's designed for a woman more than anything.
Cam does not
Wait,
have womanly
so
hips.
This is female armour that covers the entire body.
Yes.
What MMO is this?
This is not tropey fancy armour, I'm afraid.
Okay. Regardless, we should take it back, and we can almost definitely find out more about this Ashford Black Hearth as well. And I will open the case.
Okay, it's locked.
I will try
Case
to open the
locked.
case and maybe there's a key round here
Then
then.
get my dagger out and smash the glass.
Smash the glass.
I was
Oh.
I was going to punch it.
I mean, you've just given more work for these people to clear up.
I mean, this is going to be the least of their worries.
I don't think anyone wants to come into this manor.
Fine.
Maybe the Raynar family will, because they don't want to take him out. But
Anyway,
here we go.
Yeah, I sort of
So,
go to take it as well.
it is very, very heavy. So, Reynard, what's your strength?
14.
Reynard can carry it. What's your strength?
11.
Right. Reynard, you can kind of carry it as equipment. Like, you can kind of wrap it up with ropes. If you don't want to put it in the bag of holding, you're going to have to physically carry the armor. It is heavy enough that it probably wouldn't encumber you. We don't do full encumberment rules, but with all your other gear, like, whoa, this is going to be, heavy but not tiring. Cam, if you try and carry it, this will tire you out. You'll be moving at half speed. You'll have a disadvantage on strength checks and any constitution checks for tiredness. It would literally be like taking a super heavy weight around with you.
You know what?
So if he was to wear it, then that'd be the same.
Possibly, because it is very heavy. But he would also be ditching his current armor, so
Yeah.
the weight would kind of even
okay.
out.
Whoa, take some of the weight, Reynard. Come on.
Next campaign, we'll probably do much more
I'm
encumbrance
gonna let go of
stuff,
it so
'cause
Cam can hold it.
Matter.
Where's the bag?
we're not
Hold the
putting it
bag.
in the bag.
What do you mean, why?
There's leather on it, Cam.
What's that going to do?
Bad things.
It's going to do nothing.
It's going to do bad things.
Oh, it's going to make a leather strap go a little bit bigger.
No.
Where's the bag?
I'm gonna take it off him, haul it over my back, and
Like, you kind of like rope it up, attach it to your backpack and things like that, like
Yeah.
all the components.
while still being delicate with it.
Yeah.
I'm not just throwing it around.
I mean, you get the sense that, like, this metal, like, even just, like, touching it, like, it seems very dense. Like, that's why it's so heavy. It seems like an incredibly dense metal. And it's the adamantine's not covering the whole thing. It is only in certain parts.
That's okay.
So you guys find that, and you are currently stood in the sort of, like, foyer of Black Hearth Manor.
We haven't been upstairs to whatever's in the attic.
Did you find Librum and Testament?
They have fallen in battle.
Fallen?
Oh,
Where did you find them?
In the square nearby. I am searching for their personal belongings so I may send them home to the Unbroken Empire.
If I had a day of rest,
They are too far gone.
There's a 10-day grace period.
We don't have anything to give for that, Cam. It's expensive. Unless
A
we
diamond?
sacrifice this.
It's a 500 GP diamond base.
Did you find a diamond in the
There might be
jewelry?
some jewellery that has.
Could be.
Someone's
We'd
got to
have
have a
to look.
diamond in this town.
There
It would
would
be
be
in this
jewelers and
house.
things like that in the town and stuff like that. There might be jewelers and stuff like that.
I can save them. If we put their bodies somewhere safe, I can save them. And we stay here overnight. That will put us a day behind going back to Talisman. But I think their lives are worth it, are they not?
I believe so.
Then let's get their bodies and bring them here and find a diamond.
Okay. Is that what you want to do?
Would we not need two?
You would need
You
two
need
diamonds.
two and you
One for each person.
We need 3 diamonds.
How many can you bring back? Both of them?
Yes, I'll be able to cast it twice. Because I will have that ability in me.
It takes 10 minutes to cast something we got wrong
An
last
hour.
time. But an hour, sorry, yeah. But yeah, you can do that. So we'll skip time. We'll speed things up a little bit here. You scour. You basically spend most of the morning into early afternoon scouring Blackhearth Manor and the town itself. You find a number of things. When you head down into Blackhearth Manor's basement and you search upstairs and things like that, you find basically, if you're just going to take things like jewelry and coins and gemstones, you have about 3,000 gold's worth of things. Amongst that,
Do you want me to write that down?
searching amongst
I'll
things
grab
like
it.
jewelers, using Elora's incredible strength to break into vaults and things like that, you will find probably about another 1,000 gold out in the city, a worth of stuff. Again, coin, loose coin, jewelry, gemstones.
I imagine we go back to where we found them held prisoner. They had a lot of stuff.
That is burnt down.
Oh yeah.
The administration building is completely burnt and collapsed in on
Sapphires,
itself.
though, would,
Huh?
sapphires would.
It's buried underneath all the rubble of all the timbers that burnt and collapsed and crashed in on itself. Like, that administration building is a mess. And like 9 hours, it is
YOLO.
a ruin. You can try and dig through it, but it will take a lot of time to try and dig through to get to the basement.
Right.
While you're
I will
out
say that
doing-
1,000 gold of that 4,000 that you've accumulated in total can be 2 diamonds, like of equivalent
Who's
size
banking
and
this
value.
stuff?
Well, it might not be a single diamond. You might find like multiple smaller diamonds and pry them out of rings and things like that, and build up enough to power the spell.
Perfect.
So do we not? We.
So you
blah, blah,
basically
blah.
you have 3,000 gold,
Yeah.
and then enough for the spells basically.
Okay, and
top
do we
of
need
that-
to sacrifice anything?
Well, that is how the spell works.
Don't really have anything.
So
So is it the diamond
I mean-
and?
keep in mind the self-sacrificing thing affects them coming back
Yeah.
and some of the things that can go wrong. The process of bringing the soul back to life is harrowing and can be dangerous. Juto came back relatively fair enough because you guys all sacrificed something, but it's not necessary. The only difference was when Cam was doing it for Mirella, it was him channeling it completely by himself. Like, this will be a ritual where you all do something, you all commit to helping the ritual come back to life.
Cool.
So, you gather up everything. You've got the bodies. They've only been dead less than 8 hours, so you're well within the 10-day limit of raised dead.
Before I cast that spell,
And it's getting to early evening. Yes?
I'm gonna cast Healing Word on both of them
Mhm.
to try and heal their wounds first.
Yeah, you can basically spend some time, like
Basically
you can
prepare
bandage
their
them up
bodies.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
So I know it cures disease and stuff, but they come back with pain and
Yep.
wounds and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna heal those up first.
Okay.
So I'll mark that off.
Do you want to? I can do.
Also, I guess it's a fresh day.
Not yet.
I would have to do that.
Oh, okay, so you'd have to take an
I'd
8-hour
have to
rest
take an
as well.
8-hour
Okay,
rest.
so you basically have to bed down for the night. It kind of gets to the early afternoon because you're also helping them search the town to find the relevant materials and the gold and things like that. You also never actually find anything that belongs to them. Like, you remember that, like, I mean, you just don't find any necklaces or holy symbols or anything like that.
Even in the upstairs and that.
You just don't find anything. Like, either it was destroyed or they never had anything to begin with. Like,
Would the Everseed help with their successful return?
could do.
Because it was.
It's a
it was
very, very powerful relic.
powerful artifact or personal item.
It can be whatever you wish. It can be monetary value. You could literally pile up gold. You could give an item. You could give a memory. You could do pretty much anything. It's a sacrifice. But yeah, I mean, the Everseed is incredibly powerful magic.
Memory, you say?
Yeah, it could be. It's anything which has value, anything which the grand universe, the magic of the universe would see as value. So it could be anything. Cam has to rest. While you're resting and you're kind of taking the 8 hours, are you going to try and stay? Are you just going to stay in like a house? Are you going to find somewhere to stay? Are you going to camp out?
Stay at the manor.
The Bucklands basically go find like one of the remaining inns, and most of them move in there. But Morella comes to see the 4 of you, and mainly she comes to speak to Cam, but she's like, long day, trying to get everything ready. Are you all heading off soon, or?
We're going to spend a night here because 2 people that helped us have fallen, and I might be able to bring them back.
Yeah, if you can do that, that'd be amazing.
It's like I brought you back. It's the same kind of thing. More people that can...
I figured that's kind of the gist you were going with.
So I did a spell called Raise Dead.
Right.
It's really
Which brings
powerful.
people back from the dead.
That's how I got you back.
Yep.
It's quite incredible.
You're very powerful.
I know.
What I was going to say is I think the Bucklands are going to stick around just for an evening to rest. Most of them haven't eaten properly, so they're all currently feasting and finding what food they can and cooking it up. They've also had some of the citizens of Greybell approached. They've actually asked if they can join the family. Some for a time, some seem to want to be a bit more permanent.
Oh.
Eldie's talking to them and seeing what they want to do. So we're letting them gather their things and things like that. I wanted to come and talk to you specifically, Cam, because I don't know what to... I want to stay with Amelia, but I also feel I should come with you.
Is she okay, by the way? I didn't really want to impose.
Yeah, I spoke to her. She's weak. She's very weak. I think Karen was feeding on her personally. So she's quite weak. I mean, she's happy. She's glad to be free of all of that, and she's very grateful. She did kind of make some remarks about you, and apparently she came to find you at some point, and there was some sort of altercation or something.
I imagine her memory's quite hazy, maybe changed by the
sure.
Dark Lord.
Yeah, we'll chalk it down to that one. You only get so many free passes for bringing me back to life. You know that, right?
I got at least a couple more.
I'll give you those.
Thank you.
She's fine. She'll be okay in time. We just need to get her fed.
Good.
We need to give her some rest and
She'll
things
be
like
safe under Eldie's care.
that. Yeah, we're going to take it easy, I think. We're just going to try and get out on the road, head south. I don't really understand what's happened to me, these kind of powers. I'm not sure if I can keep doing what I did or what it means. I don't know if I'm changed in some way. I feel like you know a bit more than what you've said.
Yep.
But I also don't want to leave the Bucklands again.
Let me tell you this. Us lot, we've been through hell, but that is nothing compared to what we're about to go back to. And I don't want to put you in any sort of danger. We're going to be on the front lines, essentially facing the worst threat that Talisfal has ever faced.
Right, you understand, though, that we don't want you in that position either. Me
Well,
and the Bucklands.
Sorry I made that decision while you're dead. So.
Well, okay, well then we get to make a decision too. Maybe we come with you.
Who's we?
The Bucklands.
Nope. Don't want you guys anywhere near Talisfal. I've already made that clear.
Right, we don't want you anywhere near danger. Like, you literally saved the family, and you are a part of it.
And I don't want any more of you to die. And you know my capabilities. With this group, we can save a lot of people.
Right, well maybe my powers can help too. Maybe I should be coming. I've been dead for a while, and I came back, and you fought a vampire, and all I did was really cower and heal you a little bit. I feel like I should do something. I don't just want to hide. Would you want to hide if you were me?
No, you're stubborn, like I am.
Exactly.
Look, if you want to come with us, I'm not going to stop you. And I will teach you what you now have awakened inside you.
I'll think about it.
There is another as well
What do you mean?
that has this ability that I know of.
Okay, well, yeah, that sounds useful to know.
She's great. You'll like her.
Okay, let me think about it. I'll come find you in later, I guess, maybe just before dawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to take part in the ritual to save our friends, the more the merrier.
Sure. Yeah, we'll do that.
That can give something back.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Because they did a lot to help us get to you.
All right. She nods. I'll see what we can do, and then she heads off. And you guys, take a long rest. So long rest for everyone.
Can I do something just before?
Yeah.
So as kind of, I'm guessing while this is going on, everyone's settling down and just getting a bit of a
Yeah,
rest.
you're just like getting in ready to take the long rest.
Yeah, I'm going to walk past wherever Reynard is and go, Reynard, a word.
Oh, okay. Juto,
Dark corner.
good work back there, by the way, jumping out of the tower. And
Thank you.
good.
And it was a noble act, returning the blade.
Thank you. I only thought it right that it belonged to them and not to someone who could find no use for it.
Your family.
Hmm.
You love them.
Some of them?
Even the ones who irritate you.
Yes.
Would you die for them?
I would die for Talisval.
Would you?
Yeah.
You are aware that Mr. Buckland's ritual to bring back Libram and Testament requires personal sacrifices.
I am aware. What are you insinuating?
I have been looking into this ritual, and one of the sacrifices you can make is a memory.
I see.
I need your advice, however, because you come from a troubled family.
Yes,
You know my family were killed.
I do. You're not thinking of removing that memory, are you?
Perhaps not that, but there is a memory I have, before the Dragonborn came, of playing in my village. With my friends, with my family. And it was probably the last time that I felt safe. My reasoning is, today, the events that have happened here, watching Mr. Buckland reunite with his family, who are now safe and free from the terror that was Keren and Strahd. It makes me long for home. I have always sought to return home and free what tieflings are left from the true Korak.
I still haven't quite wrapped my head around that one. That's confusing. Carry on, sorry.
How so?
I think if that is something you wish to do, then by all means. But if I were to add some advice into that, playing with your friends in your childhood is the only light, as far as I can tell, you may still be holding on to. If that's something you wish to trade for Libram and Testament, then by all means. But it could be the driving force that has kept you going this entire time.
It is painful, however. Today has been a painful day for me. Elora has her family, Cam has his family, and you have yours, no matter how fractious they are.
You may not have a tiefling family, or you may do. They may be somewhere, and I completely understand wanting to head back to find whatever may be left, but you still have a family with, well, the three of us.
You say, however, it would be the last moment of light I had. However, there are more. When they brought me back, the sacrifices they made. When they talked me into giving up Crownrand. When Trelemar gave me the memory of my parents back.
I'm just worried that removing that memory is the last of who Juto really is. What she was before all of this. You're not a fighter, you're not a warrior, you are a tiefling. With your friends, with your family.
I will be honest with you, though. I do not believe we will be returning to Brisaris. I am worried of Talisval, I am worried of Felania, and I am worried that once it is all done, no one will aid me in returning to Brisaris because, understandably, it is dangerous, and it is far from home. And if I do return, and I tell you this because I know you will not tell anyone else, I am afraid of returning home, of what I will find there.
I don't hold that against you.
But perhaps it is best to forget.
Whatever you decide, as I've said 100 times before, we'll stand by you and help you in that journey.
You've only said that 4 times before.
Then I'll say it another 96 times, and then on the 100th time, I'll say 100 times before. Whatever decision you make, if you remove the memory, if you don't, if you wish to return to Brasaris afterwards, I'm sure we will all follow you and help you.
Testament and Libram are powerful allies and worthy soldiers. If it were not for them, we would have not achieved this. They deserve to be restored as fully as they can be.
I fully understand, but just be wary of the personal sacrifice you are making. Though I am sure it will be plenty to bring them back.
Thank you for your counsel. If you repeat of any of this to anyone,
You'll kill me.
and then just walk away.
Okay. There you go. Reynard, you're left in the corner.
I'm going to really meekly come back.
Need to come back.
Out of interest, were they far enough away that we didn't hear that, or would...
I would expect Juto would,
Yeah.
given how seriously she was doing it, she would probably try and make sure he lured in.
I think she's aware of your perception at this point.
Elf ears.
Yeah. I think she would make extra steps, like maybe into another room or something. You guys can take a long rest. You get
Yep.
spell slots back. You get hit points back. I'm guessing you're preparing Raise Dead.
Yeah.
Do
You've got spell
I
slots to do it.
get my HP max back?
Yes, you do. Yes. The draining effect of Karen's bite fades.
You piss off, ghost.
New HP, because we leveled up.
Yep.
I'm now on 70.
75.
104.
Such a
96.
yeah, you two.
Woo!
Okay.
70
The
is
two that I never
club.
get to bloody touch.
96
have
health,
the highest
and I'm
health.
furthest away from all the enemies.
I mean, it was kind of hard
good.
to touch me.
No, I mean like those two I never get to damage, and they've got the
Yeah.
highest hit points.
Well, she's got
Right.
an entire shield to get through in the form of an earth
Yeah,
elemental.
still. True is. Right, anyway, so Cam, the bodies are prepared. You actually do know that Raised Dead will close all their wounds. They come back with drained of energy, but their wounds will actually physically close and things like that. So any claw marks and scratch marks and stuff like that. So
Well,
you
I
don't need to
imagine
spend
that
any healing.
Oh, okay.
Or you could spend, I guess, the
I
night
get it to the night
before,
before.
like, yeah, just
I
like
felt
using
like
what
it felt
slots you
right.
have.
Didn't
Yeah.
want to see them like that.
It's kind of almost like preparing their bodies and stuff like that.
I would
yeah.
have helped you with that, I think, as well.
I'm guessing Elora mainly probably carried the bodies back as well because
Yep.
of the strength and
I
things.
would
So
have offered, and then
And then quickly given
just before dawn, as you're kind of making the preparations, all of the Bucklands that you had rescued come back in, and they each are carrying something, like a little cloak, or something that they found, or some of them have got musical instruments that they found, and they begin sort of like playing little songs and things like that. Just like little tiny things that they can do. You see some of them like setting up incense and kind of like, scattering what few flowers that they've found somehow. They begin scattering those around. And they generally kind of create like a really nice kind of like area around, like in the main foyer, I'm guessing you're doing this, of Blackhurst Manor.
yeah,
And yeah, you are going to cast a spell.
yeah, and I'll just be like, I
Okay.
miss this. I miss this company. That was nice.
Yeah, the Bucklands all like, they've kind of got that serious but jovialness that kind of takes place when something serious is happening.
Lightening the mood.
But yeah, they still attempt to lighten the mood always.
Are these contributions?
They are, some of them are, but obviously they don't have a lot of stuff that they can give, but it looks like they are going to participate. So my main question is, who are you casting it on first?
Who looked the most?
They will both look dead. Not quite sure what you're trying to ask me there.
Who looks dead there?
In case you're wondering, I think he said that Libram was the better fighter, if that's what you're asking.
Testament went down first. But
Testament was also the tougher
He was
one. Like,
really-
he often got hit.
Yeah,
He
quick
was
away.
so beat up though. Like
he was already very
I'm sure
beaten up.
Testament did say that Libram was the...
Libram she is the senior of the two.
So if you really want to do it that way...
I'm gonna bring back Libram first.
Okay. LD comes up and is like, "Sweet boy,
I'm a man now, LD.
No, always boy. We give, Mirella say sacrifice needed. We give half. Some to men, some to lady.
It's very nice of you, thank you. It all helps.
Mirella say that they help you, help us. So we help.
Just
and
be careful around the spell, because if you're thinking of stuff and and you're able to give it up, you can get rid of more than just physical goods. Don't give up thoughts. Don't give up body parts. Don't think of those things.
Okay.
Just be at peace.
Okay.
And wish
Be
for
at peace, bring back life.
Yeah.
We give small thing.
Love. Think of love.
Okay.
Think of Gramps.
Okay. Great. So, Cam begins casting the spell. This takes an hour. Are any of you contributing something, and what is it?
Will it go towards the two of them, or
No, it's
just
one each. It's every casting of the spell. This requires some sort of sacrifice to the greater universe. The Bucklands basically all start playing songs, like as Cam is casting the ritual, and that kind of like seems to be their major contribution. This kind of like lively but still a little bit sad ballad song, and they are playing this song as their contribution as he begins casting the spell for Libram. But I'd like
Helps
to know.
me focus.
Sure. But what is anybody else?
Gives me tons of advantage, I think.
Maybe.
How does sacrificing a memory work? As in
you-
just a specific memory?
You pick up a specific event and you focus on the spell. Like, you feel this energy waving off the spell, and you almost kind of get this sense of, like, what are you giving to return this person to life? Like, what will you give?
I'm channeling the spell.
Yes.
Am I the gatekeeper of the sacrifices?
As in, like, you know what they are? Yes, you are.
Can I dismiss them if needs
No,
be?
it's not up to you. You are aware of what they are giving, but you cannot stop somebody from giving it if they wish to walk up and contribute.
Okay. I'll just carry on.
You don't have to give up anything. I'm just saying. Like, basically, if you want to give something up, you decide now, or you don't do it.
I am not giving anything up. I'm just channeling
channeling
the
the spell?
Bucklands through
Okay.
me.
Wait, who are we? Is it
This is Libram.
Libram?
I will give up my memory of the perfect day.
Okay.
In my
so your
village.
early childhood, when, as far as you're aware, this was before the Dragonborn arrived, but this was actually because your family was a runaway family before you were caught.
Playing with
Of
friends,
other children and things like that, and out in the desert in sort of like the sands.
One
and
of the
things like that.
simplest days.
Okay, so that's what you're giving up, and you get the memory kind of channeled through you as Juto gives it up, and it basically goes.
It's one of the most peaceful and happiest moments.
And yeah, it leaves you bewildered, and you don't know what consequences that may have. You can remember the time leading up to it, and then it's like that day just becomes haze. You know something happened, but you don't know what. And you do feel like a slight, just a little bit of that happiness kind of like just drift away. What about anybody else?
I want to give a memory as well
Okay.
of when I put my hand on Libram and cast guidance
Okay,
right before they went in
okay.
to sacrifice
So
themselves.
okay, so you kind of like this kind of like farewell sort of thing. Okay.
And I'll cast a druid cast a flower and
classic.
put it in as well.
Yep.
Does it go through me and then I forget them as well?
No,
Or do I technically remember?
you technically remember them, but as best as you can. It's not as ingrained because it didn't happen to you.
I'm focusing on...
It's like trying to
Details.
remember a part of a story that you kind of are half told.
Well, this one I'm just going to, I guess, if I can, just be focusing as much as I can.
You're not going to
on-
give anything up, or
Not for this one.
Okay.
I think for this one I'm just going to focus on, Libram in combat and what
You're
she
trying to
was
focus on
like
it.
prior to that, and just
in that case, Cam
some
Buckland,
sacrifice.
can you make a religion check for me, please?
Natural 20!
Okay. Okay. So you watch as the spell culminates in this kind of like billowing pillar of light. You watch Libram's body kind of begin to ever so slightly change. Her skin shifts, almost like her body's metamorphosizing. You watch it kind of get enveloped in the light, and then she begins to change. Kim, as yours was the most powerful memory given up, can you roll a d8 for me, please?
Can I pick up a d8? 1.
1, okay. You watch as Libram's body, like the kind of light kind of coalesces around her, and then you begin to see it change ever so slightly. You actually watch as her skin changes to a deep red hue. You watch as horns begin to sprout from her head. A tail begins to curl out from just above her behind. Her legs change to a much more cloven shape. And it does kind of split apart some of the robe and tunic that she had. And then when she opens her eyes, the light diminishes, and you can see she has these incredibly violet eyes, like almost glowing violet eyes. And she kind of, and she like takes a deep breath in as she like looks up, and she looks up at you, and she's like, Buckland, you brought us back.
Yep.
She's just like, I thought I'd gone to join the path, but I felt something calling me back. And then she kind of like holds her hand up, and then she kind of looks at herself.
Okay, take a minute. The
happened?
bringing back, it doesn't always go.
She like looks down, like my legs, it feels so strange. What? And she kind of like looks around, seems quite unsure. You see like some of the Bucklands are like, like gasp a little bit at the display of magic. Tikel's like, Tikel would probably say, like the little boy's like, he's turned her into a demon or something like that. She's like, what?
I
This
mean,
is still Libra.
This is Libra. You can still, she has the shaved side of hair. Her face has got the same shape, but she's been turned into a tiefling. You can see that she has almost been reborn as a tiefling, but as a grown woman tiefling. Can't believe you rolled a 1. Of all the people I had roll for race, and you roll a fucking 1.
What were the other?
Like all of the
races.
player races, and then it was split off for like an elf roll a d6, d3 to see which type of elf and stuff.
what matters right now, Libram, is we still need to bring Testament back.
Testament? Yes, he fell. I tried to save him.
He's here.
You can bring him back?
I need to cast this again.
What do I need to do?
You need to sacrifice something that means
Fine.
a lot to them.
Fine.
Just be careful with what you're sacrificing.
Anything.
Not yourself, because I just spent a whole
Of course.
friggin' hour.
And also, he wouldn't want that.
Thank you. And now,
Cast a spell.
everybody, just as much effort as the first.
The other half of the Bucklands come up. They begin playing the music again. You cast a spell. Libram just instantly is straight there to sacrifice something.
I think this one's going to be very helpful.
So she actually kind of kneels down, and you can see that even on her tiefling body, she still has these tattoos of the path. Like this kind of winding trail around her arms and around her back and things like that. And now when she rests down, you get the sense that you get the sense that this is a woman who has dedicated herself to martial prowess and combat and learning martial skill, and dedicated herself to this philosophy, this way of belief. And she has endured quite a lot. You kind of get memories of training where she was kind of, she's been nearly killed several times. She like pushed herself to exhaustion. And you see Testament training alongside her the whole time.
Okay.
And when she finally gives up, you get the sense that she gives up some of the power that she's earned, that she's trained and disciplined into herself. And she gives that away.
Like years of it.
Years of her experience, basically. And you watch as some of the tattoos that she earned, and she got them after each kind of session of training, some of them fade from her body completely.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I'm doing the same as I was, channeling the
You're
Buckland
like
music.
angling up shit.
Um,
You don't have to do anything.
I would like to sacrifice
Okay.
something. I want to sort of think back to when I first joined the party and how I wanted to spread stories about myself and be the hero that my uncle was or is, and then sort of remember all those times I met him when he came back from, adventures, telling his stories and things, and realise maybe being like him isn't what I want to do. What I need to do is make myself something better. So I would like to give up almost the idea or the memories of, not my uncle, but...
The adulation of him, like, it's sort of like that desire the aspiration to be like him. Like, that kind of giving up on that goal, almost.
Yeah, so almost memories of when he came back, when I read stories and I was amazed and things like that. Just snippets of things like that, just so that the adoration and the goal is...
Cam gets that channeled through him. Anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to roll it.
I want to do the same thing. Another memory of the last time that we saw them before they sacrificed themselves.
So you give that up. Okay.
Should I roll religion?
Yes, please.
Can I cast guidance with that?
You can, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Memories don't have the same power as things like items and stuff like that, so...
9.
9.
-1.
Okay. So you channel the power, and the spell does work. It connects. You see the same sort of like light kind of engulf Testament that it did with Libram. His form doesn't change this time. You do see, however, that the gold kind of aura shrinks away, leaving his flesh. The wounds healed. He goes to awaken, but the golden light kind of lingers on his right arm for a moment. And then you see, basically, as he comes to, his arm has almost like a grey texture. Not like stone, but like it's kind of just... it's just kind of turns like a dull grey. And as he kind of like comes to life, the arm doesn't move. Like his other hand kind of comes up with him and he's like... Bucklands, I was on the... It's my arm. And he's like, I can't... Did something go wrong? The spell...
It's difficult to bring someone back.
I can't believe you can do it in the first place. I've heard that the prophetess can do it, but I never thought I'd... And like, he can't, he's just like, the arm is completely like just dead, like
I'm
hanging.
sorry that I couldn't bring you back as complete as you were before.
He kind of looks at you strangely. He's just like, you brought us back from the dead. I don't care if I've lost an arm. I have a second chance at life.
That's Libram.
He looks over, and he is kind of like, what? And she kind of like looks at him, and he kind of like looks at her a bit closely. He like looks at like the curve of like, he's like, it is you. Well, we'll have some explaining to do to the masters when we return. And she kind of chuckles with him and is like, yes, I suppose we will. If nothing else, this is certainly a lesson. He kind of notices her arms. He's like, what happened to your tattoos? You earned those for the trial of combat. It's just, it doesn't matter now. Let's focus on what we need to do next. And they kind of get to their feet woozily. And again, like the Bucklands, like there's a big sort of like, yeah, like a big cheer kind of them. Because to them, like this is the most incredible feat of magic. They rush up to you and little Takel's like, I can't believe, that's amazing.
I know.
You just, what?
Well, we all contributed. I'm just a vessel.
But, like,
yeah, I know. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's like looking up at you with like complete adoration. Like he's just like,
one day, you could do the same thing.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
You devote yourself to Avandra. You too could have these abilities.
Yeah, I'll do that. Avandra's so good.
You have to believe it.
I believe it really hard.
She knows when you're lying. She's a trickster.
And you kind of,
Thank you, everybody. I felt everything that you gave up for these two.
What did you give? You had to give up something for us?
In order for you to come back, as you have done, it can go very wrong without some sacrifice.
Well, thank you. If this is the price for a second chance, then so be it. But thank you.
You literally gave up your entire life for us.
For a town.
He looks at you and he's just like, Miss Galanadel, we didn't do it for you. We did it because everything we've learned, everything we are trained to deal with, we could not let a monster like that go on.
And
Libram
that's
and I knew that we couldn't defeat him, but we could give you the chance to do it.
the reason that we brought you back is because of how could we let someone like you go when that's what you believe?
And
we need people like you.
we need you.
You mentioned a threat against, or some threat against Talis Val.
Yeah, and the wider world, potentially.
Tiefling Libram looks up, is like, we will head back immediately. I will gather forces myself if we must.
You have to think about what you've come back as, what you've lost.
Yes.
You are not who you were before, so don't rely on the skills you once had.
No.
You'll need to adapt.
Well, that is the way of the path. When a fork in the road appears, we must travel whatever direction it is we are headed in.
And as for that arm,
Testament just kind of looks down at it and he's just like, honestly, I'll probably have it removed when we return to the Empire.
well, just saying, I'm spent right now, but there could be something I could do in the future.
He looks down, he's just like, perhaps, but like you said, we must travel down the path that's presented to us. Perhaps this is... He looks down, perhaps I should be learning to use my other, fight better.
Yeah, and all I'm saying is your path, you thought it ended with your deaths.
We did.
We changed your path, we can change that too.
Perhaps, yeah. And he just kind of looks down at it and sort of regards it. Perhaps I will leave it in place for the time being then.
I like to go to Libram and say, I can assure you, being in a tiefling body will not diminish your abilities in combat.
Having seen yours, Miss Juto, I am quite confident that is the case. In fact, perhaps there may be some advantages to it I had not considered before. Thank you. I do not know what else to say. You have literally brought us back from a fate we thought assured, and whatever aid we can give you is yours. And just know that there are people out there who see you as companions, and I'm sure perhaps you could teach me a few things down the road.
Thank you.
Both about this form and about, well, I think you would find it very interesting to travel to the Unbroken Empire. I think there would be a lot that we could teach you and a lot you could teach us if you ever wish to journey there.
I would be honoured.
She bows her head low, kind of unsteadily stands on these kind of like more satyr legs, which you know is some tieflings have them, not all of them do, and sort of like unsteadily tries to walk but is still struggling with the new body. Testament kind of like takes her with his good arm, and the two of them sort of like stand up ready to go. And yeah, I think we'll probably finish things up there so we can read some donations. And yeah, I'm guessing, just so I can prepare for next week, are you going to head to Talis Val or are you going to go somewhere else?
I think we're all Talis Val bound.
Talis Val.
Yeah, no, we're going to Talis.
Because I know that Elora mentioned
Arborea?
going to see Nalistri, but I don't know if you want to do
don't
that
have the Winter
first.
Spire on board.
Do you want to go over there because we're quite close to it?
No.
No, we're not.
I don't think.
Greybell?
Yeah.
Talis Val, Winter Spire. You're thinking
could-
of the Moon
Oh,
Spire,
Moon
which
But
is
Spire.
nearby.
I could get us there instantaneous,
Yeah, you can
and then I
just
could
transport
also
via
get us
blast.
back to Talsfell the same day now.
How about
So
we let the audience know next Sunday?
Well, yes, but just let me know after the stream.
We'll let you know after the stream, but it'll be a teaser for them.
Yeah. So, yep, let's do some donations.
Nice.
Nice.
Holy shit.
Is everyone feeling good and emotional?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Like, I want to point out, by the way, I do get teary because I love narrative stuff. It's not because I'm actually sad. I just get caught up in the moments. That's all it is. Just want to make that clear. I'm very... I read books and cry, okay?
It's why I couldn't look at you for a lot of this, because you were going to set me off.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's
You're
just something
heavily
about
invested in the story.
Well, it's not even
That's
that.
good.
It's just like, I don't know, something about the moments. Like, I don't know. It's not even that I care.
There is nothing shameful about
I'm not saying it's
feeling
shameful.
emotion.
I don't want people thinking like, Mark's so sad. I mean, I'm sad in one way, but not sad.
It's okay. We understand. You pussy. Let's do Honeydew.
That's the spirit of high rollers.
All right, go for it.
All right, Arlene, thank you very much. Firstly, happy birthday, Mr. Mark. Secondly, thank you so much for all you do. The high rolls have got me through so much, and I wish I could truly convey how much it will mean to me. Keep doing what you do best, and maybe keep rolling high. Thank you very much. Generous donation as well. And Koku Teon, thank you very much. Hi all, haven't watched live since episode 29, spent the last 2 weeks catching up, and I've just finished episode 50. I look forward to catching up just in time to watch episode 100 live.
Oh my God.
See you all soon. Also, happy birthday, thank you very much.
Nice.
Caloros, thank you very much. Amazing stream as always, guys. Highlight of my week. Also, Mark and Trot, thanks so much for recommending Red Rising. I blasted through all 4 books in a week.
Nice.
I don't remember the last time I was this emotionally invested in a set of characters.
See, that was probably all Mark.
No, we were talking about it on the Hack
Tom.
Film stream. We were mainly talking about it on there.
Probably Smith and you then.
Yeah, maybe. I know you like it as well, but like, they didn't thank you.
I love that series.
Well, too bad.
I think I recommended it to both. Oh,
I think
okay,
you
carry
spoiled
on.
it. You spoiled it for me too, Tom.
Thank you very much for the donation with no message, and I'll read this one from Nightjar.
Yeah.
Hi, what mighty fine looking hoodies you're all wearing mostly. Where might one purchase such an exemplary hoodie for their own self? Saw at yogscast.com.
That's right.
PogChamp, also happy birth to the best DM of the best D&D group there is. Thank you very much, Nightjar.
Lovely.
Lovely. Up next, we've got Tashi Tash. Spent the last few days catching up on 3 months worth of high rollers so I could watch this live. Incredible story arcs. Mark, you really are an amazing story.
Thank you.
Truth. Yogs Buddy donated, saying, hi guys, it's been a while since I donated, but I'm up to date. Hope you're feeling a bit more cheerful now, Mark. No, I should feel down on a D&D day. Looking forward to seeing you at MCM in October. Do you think Matt will come to see a trailer of our cosplay?
Maybe. I think he came to check out just the con.
It's up to him.
Yeah, it's up to him, basically.
him.
Yep.
Yeah. And Koku Teon again. Also, in the process of donating, I have just seen Trot with blonde hair for the first time.
Whoa.
That's a bit weird. When
Well, I
did that
guess,
happen?
because they're only up to
A long
episode
time
50,
ago.
so yeah.
It
It's
happened a
about
long
like
time ago.
5-6 months, half a year ago. Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
the thing now.
The Titan 84 has donated a hundo!
Thank you.
Hundo Swedish crowns for the best D&D show on Twitch. Spent 2 months catching up all episodes you can finally watch live. Fantastic show. Thank you, background crew, for the great production. You can thank Sam today.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you to all the players for such fantastic characters. One out
One
of
of
2.
two, damn.
Let's see if I can find the
Oh,
other
there's
one.
another one.
real quick.
It's the next. Wait,
Yeah.
no?
Oh,
Oh,
my
we
god,
got
there's a
another-
second hundo.
Second hundo.
2 out of 2. Thank you, Mark, for creating such a fantastic world with such colourful characters. Off to play with my Pixie Eldritch Knight now.
Yes, that sounds amazing.
Is that definitely the same person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 of 2.
It is as fun as it sounds, being the tiny plate-armoured frontline shouting, "Hey, listen!" to get the monsters to attack you.
Listen.
Just like that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that double hundo. 2
Thank you
hundos.
very much.
D&D Mirrorly donated, I'll do this last one. Hi guys, donating quickly but not sticking around to watch as I'm not caught up yet. I'm glad you're all still alive and will try to catch up while I have some time off work. Hope you're feeling a bit better now, Mark. I'll be watching live next weekend. Thank you very much.
Dancing on Fire has donated, saying, I've missed the last 2 weeks live while I was moving, but I made sure I caught up, and now my internet's working, something Comcast,
Oh yeah.
so I could watch today, but now I have a few things to catch up on.
Nice.
American internet service
Yeah,
providers.
apparently Comcast are like Satan.
And Dancing on Fire has
Monopoly.
donated again. Wow, thank you very much, very generous. Happy birthday, Mark. $1 for each year and an extra for luck. To the best DM on the internet, thank you for sharing your amazing gifts with all of us and bringing this amazing campaign to life.
There was also another one,
You
which
missed it
was
as well. Yeah,
the top
Dancing
one
on
as well.
Fire, yeah.
There's another one. Happy belated birthday, Trot, from Dancing on Fire. $1 for each year and an extra for luck. Jeez.
That's
Yeah,
up
And
to
now
so that's why mine was 33.
Yeah. And now I have a goal in life that I want my friends to fill a room full of balloons and for me to pop because that looked hella fun. The
Did
rest
it?
Oh,
of
yeah.
that stuff, not so much.
therapeutic.
That was like the best
Nice.
bit. They gave you like the best bit first,
It
and
was
then it
Yeah.
went downhill.
That was a
almost-
lot of very generous donations.
Thank you.
so
That,
much.
Thank
that
you.
was pretty much a hundo. Thank you.
Aleth K has donated, saying good stream as always and enjoying the DM 101 on Tabletop Weekly.
Thank
Going
you.
to be trying to run a Rogue Trader campaign next week after about 15 years since I last did any DMing, so
Nice.
wish me luck.
Good
Good
luck.
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 Just
That
have fun, man.
That sounds good.
Yes, can I shove
Yes.
across a little? There's tripods in the way. Frank the NPC, Mark, I have really loved the Cam arc. GG, man. Meeting the Bucklands was nice. Your grandma voice was almost as good as Trell's. Thank you,
Lol.
Frank. Messed up Murphy Markisms. No Markisms today. Just wanted to say, go wash your hands, P-boy. I did.
Yeah.
I did wash my
P-boy.
hands.
Good.
maybe not thoroughly. Hambone 7. I might eat this waffle with my hands now. Hambone 7. Hey guys, love you, but I spend a lot of hours awake each night wondering, why does Chris Trott hate ASMR so much? Please end my suffering.
Who doesn't hate it?
I have an instinctive reaction to get super angry at close noise.
Sonophobia or something?
Misophonia. Google it.
But also ASMR is just terrible. It freaks me out. It freaks me out. I don't like it either.
Godly Goat. Loved the stream as per...
Go on, you can do it.
You can do it, mate.
As per, guys.
Oh, I see. Love stream as per, guys. Sorry. Mark, been loving DM 101 as it helped me so much with new campaign I'm doing with my mates, but could use a piece of advice. Any tips for dealing with them being total edgelords and constantly breaking their good alignment?
Consequences, like the classic thing of like, if you're playing in a world with like realistic things, and they're like doing awful things, then there's like guards will not fucking tolerate that shit. Like, oh, we're gonna butcher this village. Cool. So now that like the kingdom is like, there's a fucking 4 maniacs that have butchered a village out
Mass
there.
murderers.
Let's send an army after them, or like let's hire some good adventurers to go after them, or whatever. You know, you just got to play it out. Be realistic with it.
Yeah, I'll do one more and then Kim, you can do the next one. Ace of Thorns! Whoop, double the usual. Power issues 2 weeks ago, and maybe I missed a dono? Anyway, enjoy the bonus as thanks for the great vampire action of the last few weeks and Mark's awesome Granny Buckland. You folks make Sunday awesome.
The old Bucklands, she really nice.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
We
my
have
goodness.
Snow Foxelvan. No,
Snow Fox
Ivan. That's it, yeah.
Snow
Snow
Fox
Fox Ivan has donated a double hundo.
Oh, thank you very much.
Wow. Finally managed to watch live after 2 years. Welcome back. And just had to donate after the epic free fall last week. Kudos for Kim for not metagaming and jumping after Cam. But please don't do that again. My heart can't take that tension. Stay awesome, everyone.
I think it was a Kim genuinely didn't remember that he had dementia. It was like a
That,
instinctive.
but also I went for the whole like
self-
Juto would do
yeah.
this.
Yeah, it is a
like,
thing,
you know,
yeah.
She would.
I didn't think about the dimension door.
I think anybody
I
did.
also didn't
Well,
jump.
also like you think about it in terms of
You were
the
the only one who
fight.
did.
You know,
Yeah.
everyone was
I said nothing.
spent.
Yeah,
so
you
it's like,
figured that
did
it's
he?
not funny.
You
Even
know,
had the
Juto
slot
would be
left,
like,
yeah.
would he have the power? So.
Did he use 4 level 4 slots or
Yeah,
3?
like,
Do
she
you feel
wouldn't know
lucky,
that.
punk?
So
Yeah.
just like she's instinctive. She
Yeah.
would go.
No, it's good. It's good shit.
Metamanu has donated $10, but no message. Thank you,
Thank you,
Metamanu.
Thank you. Thanks, Manu.
Sam?
Good morning.
Sam? There you go. Isherwood Sky Spear. I always think of that as Sky Pair.
Sky's pair.
Another excellent episode, High Rollers. A friendly little RP episode, Calm Before the Storm. By the way, happy birthday, Mark, and enjoy the birthday waffles.
Still got a little bit left.
I get to go back to like just trying to kill them rather than trying to do like
Wee.
emotive stuff.
Yay. Thank you to Zafir1 for donating. This was a great RP episode this week. LD is definitely now one of my favourite NPCs.
Sweet
Also,
boy.
happy birthday, Mark,
Sweet
and
boy.
belated happy to Trot, who I forgot the other week. This week's mind-bending, waffleicious question: what's your favourite food? Noodles.
Waffles at the moment.
Burgers.
Noodles.
Oh, burgers.
Always burgers.
Noodles.
Big boik burgers.
Like steak.
Noodles.
Don't know.
Speaking of, Mark,
American barbecue food.
is it LD as in the letter L and the letter D? Or is it LD like they wrote it there,
Yeah.
ELDIE?
It's up to you.
I imagine ELDIE because then it was like elder.
Yeah.
LD.
She's the LD. Yeah.
And Gramps.
Dabba D's, thank you for the quarter hundo. Really enjoyed this story arc. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Sky Silverwing, just for the record, a bag of holding in the form it takes in the DMG has no mental requirement for finding things in it. It's not airtight, it's about blah blah blah. Well, my bag is house ruled, so there we go. It is completely house ruled because it's more fun. I think that it's just dumb if it's just like a bag with stuff in it. Like how would you find stuff? Like
But what's
would you have to
the-
put it in? Like basically the normal DMG is just a bag with an opening,
Yeah.
but it just fills up with stuff. But like to me, like how do you get stuff at the bottom? Do you have to take everything out first? It's cooler just to go, I want this.
It's like Hermione's bag in Harry Potter where she just puts tons and tons of stuff in it and then she just says, Accio, this thing. Got it.
So what's special
That's way
about
more
the...
fun.
carry on.
The special thing is that it can hold more than its normal amount. Like
Okay.
you can literally like put as much load of stuff in it.
I'm imagining like Hermione's beaded bag.
Yeah.
Just
Varys, I missed the beginning of the stream because the train app told me the wrong time, so I missed my train to get home in time for High Rollers, but I will catch up at the beginning when the VOD comes out. And as always, keep up good work. Well, Varys, don't forget, you can just watch it straight away on Twitch. You can watch it right now, I think.
you want to.
Nordhaus, may the power of Cam raise you. The result may vary in appearance. Thank you very much. And then Spudwalt. Caught the first part of the stream while doing some snow shoveling, but then my phone's battery ran out.
No.
Here's some money anyways, as thanks for the continually awesome adventure.
Thank you. Good luck with the snow.
Shall I just read? How many more is there? There seems to be quite a lot, so you do some chop.
Nightjar donated again. So many feels this episode, guys. New merch idea. HR brand tissues. That's a good idea. The
Going
Curly
faction
Girl
to cry.
donated
I
saying,
don't even know why I do it.
what?
You do
Just,
it with
I don't know why I just
everything,
get
though.
emotional. Like, I don't
good.
care about it that much. I just like, it's something about it, like, just makes the eyes go. Once the eyes go, I really struggle
You
to
cried
stop
for
them.
most of Star Wars.
Yeah,
Most of it.
yeah. I don't know why. I'm an emotional guy.
Yeah. The Curly Girl donated, I'm not crying, you're crying.
I
Gosh,
was.
Mark, you are so good at what you do. I'm an emotional wreck. Much love as always. You're not the only one. Zero the Duke. Last week's episode was amazing. Sure, this week's one was too when I catch the VOD. Deep down, I know it won't happen, but part of me hopes for the return of Matt when you guys go to the new series. Love Tom, but a party of 5 might be fun. Maybe. Maybe.
There's not
So-
enough space at the table,
We
literally.
have said this many times. It's up to Matt. Matt has
Matt's
said that his
decisions.
weekends he wants to keep them free. He's got other stuff he's doing. So that's you know. As,
Also, we'd need a new table.
yeah. Well, I think we could just about. It wouldn't be very comfortable, but it's up to Matt. It's Matt's call.
Kev Tim Winch donated. Happy birthday, Mark. Also, great episode. Was amazing. We get you,
Thanks,
Mark.
Kev Tim.
Also, Trot, aren't you able to have 6th level spells? You can cast Raise Dead on 2 people at once, and Commune's ritual, no spell slots needed.
It's true. Yeah,
I
didn't
I
realise
could have
that.
done that, but Cam is dumb.
Yeah. And also, the raised dead on 2 people, I'd still make you do sacrifices for each person.
Just
like,
took
the
an extra
power
hour,
is like,
I
yeah,
guess.
it's just,
Yeah.
and another gemstone as well. But never mind.
Do you guys want to read?
Tom.
Well, okay. Evil Dr. Ganymede has donated.
Okay, yeah.
What?
Sorry, Katie. I was just going to try and get Tom to read the next one, but because I didn't think you'd want to do it.
No.
What?
Go on,
Huh?
keep going.
So, okay.
Keep going.
Happy birthday, Mark. Sorry, Evil Dr. Ganymede, thank you. Happy birthday, Mark. Today was really great. I love the RP heavy sessions and how everyone really gets into it. I hope you guys do end up going to Brasaris, though. Would really like to see what that's all about.
Just to clarify, that is the intention. A lot of people
A lot
think
of people are assuming
that
we're
we're just
not.
going to end it, and
Yeah.
it's like no. Like the whole thing is we've built this thing up with Kim and like Korank and Adric for
Jojo
ages.
doesn't want to go anymore.
I know, but maybe you have to.
She's scared.
Well, but yeah, like I don't know why people are thinking that we're not going to cover it.
Well,
Like
we'll see
unless
what
they all
happens.
die, unless you all die
think
fighting for Lania, then
At the
then
end
yeah,
of the day,
you probably will.
Well, that's
we're
what
just
she
going to have
said.
to see what happens.
Yeah.
Juto's afraid she might die in
Yeah.
the upcoming
So-
battle. She's not strong anymore without Crown.
You'll have to watch and find out. Carry on, Thomas.
Love.
Okay, awkward
More.
dog boner. This week's boner rating. Happy birthday, Terps, out of 20.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Raging hard-on moment. I will now run around town putting my hands up in front of old women, yelling, "Touch me, babushka!"
Nice.
Erection rejection moment. I'm not crying. Mark is crying, you pussy boy.
That's why I wanted Tom to read it.
Hashtag bone on Sunday.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
God
There
bless
you go,
you.
now you can take over, Key.
Me?
Sure,
Yeah.
it went backwards
You
now.
read some.
Techie Reed has donated saying, happy birthday to the best DM. What an awesome night of RP. Can't wait for next week. Thank you very much. Varys has donated again, saying, I had to donate again because I got a bit teary at the end. Not many things do that. Absolutely love High Rollers. This is my favourite part of any week. Tom is doing something very untragic.
Trying to eat waffles. Was
Anyway.
it just Nutella?
NRM 2000. Hey High Rollers. I wanted to thank Mark for the tips on his stream.
There we go.
My first group I'm DMing is frequently asking when our next session will be, which I see as an overall success.
Yep,
Good
for
luck to Tom, Kim, Katie and Trot with Felania. Thank
Well.
you very much. Kim, do you want to go again?
Kev Tim Winch has donated again. Also, I ship Juto and Libram. Heart lucky on the tiefling heart.
Leave that.
That could be
No.
interesting.
Absolute
I
fucking
think
nonsense.
Libram's off with Testament anyway. So.
That's a big assumption.
Yeah, but her companionship with him, you know, regardless of whether
Oh
it's,
yeah, like it's
you know,
it's
it's
platonic.
unbreakable.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
well, it's friendship.
It's unbreakable.
Yeah, I don't want to go third wheel on
Unbreakable.
that.
Well, they're not a couple. They're not a couple.
Yeah, but you don't, you know, bond like that.
Maybe she's not into him. That way.
miracle.
He's friend zoned.
Literally is.
He's friend zoned.
Friend zoned.
He's friend zoned.
Anyway.
Hardcore. Anyway,
Thank you all for watching.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the lovely
Very,
messages.
very generous
All
donations.
the generous
Jeez.
donations. Yes.
Jeez.
We will be back next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, thank
I
you
should
to
hope
it.
so.
There's been a few tweets coming in of people buying hoodies. Thank you so much for that as well. Thank you. All of your support means a lot to us.
You're all
And if you
beautiful.
want to see these
Yeah.
characters potentially for the last time at a live show, please check out the Insomnia 62 website where you can get tickets to see us for 10 poons.
10 pounds.
Timpans.
Let's do
guarantee
it!
We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
you
see Milo. Woo!
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.